What is up? What is up? I seriously need to move my day for live streams to another day because it seems like every single Wednesday is bad. Something comes up. Something comes up. I was going to actually do it this week, but oshinoko didn't air, so I figured, whatever, I'll just keep to Wednesday for this week, and then next week I'll switch over to Thursday or something, but we'll figure it out. But what's going on, Sabanasu? What's going on, Nagisa? I just seen that. So, Seismic, thanks again for the membership. Really, really appreciate the support, man. Seismic means a lot to me. Thank you so much, man. Zoltar, what's going on? Why is this... Why is this chat so small? I swear that's my daily... Or my every stream, I get upset about the chat being, like, either stupid small or something. So, let me fix that real quick. And then we can continue. Because... I don't know, OBS, your chat thing sucks, so... Let's move this over. I have to look at the YouTube screens stuff. Is that messing up things? Oh, there it goes. Right, there. Anyways, Beto, what's going on, man? Hope you're doing well. Tungsten, hey, how's it going? Yeah, I actually had, like, a few things planned for this live stream, and then, again, like I said, day sucked, so... I had this waiting to do for a long time. I think I did it once before on Twitch. I don't have any sort of archive on YouTube of doing a Mal top 10 list or top 100 list, but I've been wanting to do this for a long time. Granted, MyAnimeList shifts like nothing, and yes, I subscribe to the mentality that most things in the Mal top list are things that have sequels, because typically sequels get better scoring than first seasons. Like, if you have a first season of a show, a lot of people watch it, and they'll downvote or upvote or whatever. But when a second season comes out, most people that didn't like the first season won't watch the second season. But people that are dedicated will continue into the next season. So when you have shows that are sequentially released in different seasons on Mal, it's obviously going to have higher ratings. That's why, honestly, Fruits Basket, not that it wasn't a good show, got really good scores because people had to sit through a lot of seasons to get to there. And that's why there's a whole bunch of Gintama. Like, every single season of Gintama has a separate listing, and thus they're going to get good ratings because people like Gintama and they're going to keep watching it. They're not going to score at a 1 after hundreds of episodes. So, yes, I acknowledge all the caveats around MyAnimeList, and I had somebody on the Discord was mentioning the idea that some of the shows I haven't watched are like the top 100 list of Mal, and I'm like, yeah, but there's a lot of things in Mal that aren't in my favorite list. I mean, like Fullmetal Alchemist, which we'll get to, so. But I didn't list every season. That's a good note here. I'm not going to go through 100 shows. I'm not going to go through like every season of Attack on Titan, even though, yes, a lot of the seasons are different, in my opinion. I'm not going to go through every single one of those seasons. It's just, I kind of grouped them up. Hopefully I got all the repeats out of there, but yeah, I will have to take a quick break here soon, just a heads up, because my dog got in a fight, and so I need to get it checked up, so I got somebody coming over to check it up, so that will be later, so just heads up. But yeah, Mal top 100 lists always suck, since it's really just most known anime. There's so many masterpieces that are super obscure. I agree. I fully agree. That's why... What? Let me see. I think only one of my top favorite anime of all time is even in this list. So that tells you something. Only one of my top... Well, two of my top favorite anime of all time are in this list, which we'll get to when I eventually get to them. There's a few other ones in here that I'm very surprised, like Mushishi and stuff like that. GTO, I'm surprised GTO is still up there. But yeah, there are some shows that like hit popularity when Mal was first kind of coming around, and they kind of secured their spot there because nobody's going to go back and watch older shows. Even if everybody, say for instance, everybody now goes back and watches Monster and they hate it to death, they're never going to dethrone it because not enough people are going to go back and watch it and rate it badly. So, yeah. Wolf Children getting beyond a 6 amazes me. Oh, there's a lot of movies in here too, which is kind of surprising. And I think that's kind of that's another one of those things where I wish there's a lot of changes I would love to make with Mal. First of all, I don't know why I'm going to do this while we get people coming in here. The changes I would make with Mal's top list is I would group up shows. So like, for instance, Gintama really shouldn't be separated by season. It should be conglomerated. Yes, I understand there's some shows where a season's better than another. Attack on Titan has a lot of fluctuation in what's a good season and not a good season. There's a lot of shonen, long-running shonens that will have bad seasons, or they'll have filler seasons. I still think they should all be grouped up and not separated, because like I said earlier, only the people that love the show are going to continue to watch it multiple seasons, and then thus those ones get way too much attention. The other change I would make, I just had it in my brain, I completely lost. I would separate TV and animated series. And I think shows that are split from movies shouldn't be in it as well. That's what the problem I had with Crunchyroll when they did the Anime Awards and they put Mugen Train arc into the dang Crunchyroll Anime Awards, and it's literally a movie split into the TV series. That's a little bit mean to say, oh look, this is the best animated TV series. It was a movie. But other than that, I don't know. I think there should be a weight based on, I really do think overall rating should be based on the actual consumption of shows by the person, the individual person. If somebody only watches shonens and they don't watch anything else, but then they suddenly decide to watch another show, their rating shouldn't weigh as much as somebody else. I know that sounds weird, but I don't want the rating based on, for example, the issues that we're having right now is, and it happened with Fruits Basket. A show gets popular, it gets up on the Mal list, and then anybody that doesn't like non-shonens will vote it down. Now, granted, they've put things in there to sort of push back against review bombing, but I don't think it's helping overall. Listen to your podcast today. You really should watch Hunter x Hunter. It just started a few weeks ago. Lives up to the hype. Yeah, it's eventuality. It's not an if, it's when. When is obviously there for me. I love Wolf Children. Man, I think it can work as a 7 tops. Yeah, we'll get to that. Let me guess. Dio, you think Orange is lame too because it's a movie? Oh, you talking to somebody else that is lame. I don't think I mentioned him lame, so I'm guessing you're talking to somebody else. I feel like I check more the most popular lists than highest rated lists. Most popular versus, yeah, I mean, they're sort of similar in listing, because technically top is based on popularity, memberships, and whatnot. High rated on Mal equals the series caters to both genders, often lean to far more demographic, and can make it in there like interspecies reviewers. For some reason, not reading that right. I don't agree, only because my assumption is that most shows on Mal is probably heavily male demographic. I don't think the female demographics, I mean, there is a lot of female viewers, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of female anime viewers, but I don't know. I think with things like interspecies reviewers, it's just more the fact that not many people watched it compared to other shows. I hate Mal too, but these sound silly. Demographics are destiny even in ratings. Yeah, movies and series operate on a totally different rating system. The best movies can't hold a candle to a mildly good series. Yeah, it really should go grouped together. And you probably can filter it that way. I just probably never mess with it as much. It's like how high quality ecchi anime, however, they still rate it as if they should be a shonen. And there's another problem really with the rating system itself, is trusting people to really acknowledge what a show's doing and if it's doing it good. Like, is anybody going into a YouTube friendly here? Is anybody going into an adult type series and going, my gosh, the story sucked, 1 out of 10? Like, did you really fire up that show and think, man, I can't wait to get a good story? technically, you know what you're getting, and did it give that to you is the question mark. It's not like you're gonna get anything other than that. It's ecchi, it's called ecchi. No, ecchi's a different thing. But yes, ecchi's the same story. If you go into an ecchi series, which is technically just fan service, it's just a peak kind of thing, and you're expecting something besides ecchi, you're missing the point. It did exactly what it says on the cover. Like Harem in a Labyrinth in Another World. Were you going that one expecting anything except for a harem in a labyrinth in another world? It's literally in the title. So if that's what, well, granted, Harem in a Labyrinth in Another World did not really have a harem until the very end. So I don't fault people for getting angry about that aspect. Even I got frustrated with that aspect. I know, don't remind me, we're currently both on YouTube. It's like here, there are high quality ecchi anime, however, they will be rated, that they should be I think I read that one earlier. Now I'm talking to Yotaku, sorry, but did you ever see the Magi season? I don't count Sinbad. No, I was starting it, and I didn't, like, invest into it, so it's another one on the list. I'm so surprised some guys like Fruits Basket. I really, really like Fruits Basket. I do think that and we'll get into it later on, I do think it dragged out at some point, but it was good, so. DxD is top 100 most popular anime, so I expect something. Not really. I think the overall rating should depend on percentage of episodes watched by the person, and it should be normalized. It is technically, but there's an easy way to get around that, and it's just to list that you watched everything. Some people are honest with how many episodes they watch, but I believe they did state at some point that they do have a system that if you don't watch the whole show, it doesn't weigh as much. That's mainly why if you have a show that people rated badly if it's first episode, it might start out low, and then over time as the show airs, more people are watching more episodes and rating it high, and it'll eventually bump up. Hey, when I was a junior year in high school, my ex-friend introduced me to Infinite Shredder. There's a lot of fan service, but I'm surprised how charming the girls were. Yeah, I mean, you can find a lot of things in a lot of things, so. Araragi is man service for chicks. Alright, let's get this started before I have to step away for a second. Odd Taxi, I am absolutely surprised that Odd Taxi's still up here. For those who don't know, there's a lot of shows that in its season, it will jump up in the list. And then over time, it'll gradually kind of dwindle off as more people watch it, more people hit it complete, more people actually, you know, put their rating in. A lot of people will be delayed on when they want to rate the show. So there's a lot of cases where when a season hits, a show will be up there and it'll slowly drip down. And that's kind of the argument they sort of make with every show that somehow surpasses Fullmetal Alchemist. So, but Odd Taxi is one that I don't remember if I ever seen that it was that high on Mal, but I'm really happy that it is because it is a series that I think is absolutely fantastic. I do have one negativity that I have around the show, and that's really around how they handled the pin and the ending and the movie. I'm not really going to put the movie into effect against this because the movie is just a recap. There's a lot of movies, recap, whatever. So, and I don't even think the movie's anywhere in the Mal list, so this is a good thing. It should be erased from existence, in my opinion, because it ruins the story fully. But, yeah, the pin and not doing the ending much justice is probably my only beef that I have with it. Not having to, but literally getting a lot of context based on a radio program on the side, so you have to go get transcripts of that if you don't know Japanese, is kind of infuriating, but the show itself is fantastic, so I'm happy it's in Mal. It should stay up there for a long time. And it is technically one of those shows that I am debating that when I do my next top anime of all time, it might end up in the list, but we'll see. Infinite Stratos, that's what I thought you were saying. I was like, what was the actual name? Do you agree that Mal #1 anime is full of Metal Alchemist? We'll get to it. Don't get ahead of things, Tana. This is some Chinese cartoon. I don't know what it is. I should probably put down here. Haven't watched. There's gonna be some that I haven't watched. It's just it's an inevitability. So. Also, there's a lot of people who rate shows 6 out of 10 and think that means bad show. That's a big, huge issue that a lot of rating systems have. Is it's either bad or it's good, and I hate that aspect. Like MyMal, if you guys look at my MyMal page, which I think it should be in the description, I specifically say that I use the entire spectrum, and the only reason I say that specifically is because I have to use the entire spectrum because I have over 2,000 shows that I have to keep and manage. And since a lot of my content requires me to go back and reference that stuff, having watched so many shows, I need to know what I actually thought of it and how it lines up with everything else. And if I put everything as an 8 or a 6, I'm never going to know what's actually good. So I use the full spectrum, which some people might not like. That might be my break. Can you hear them? Yeah, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, sorry. Doge seems to be okay. It seems to be okay. So, what did I miss? Are we already talking about where to put stuff? I'm Chainsaw Man's next. I'm gonna be brilliant to set the standard here. I probably should have said this at the very beginning. I'm gonna be very critical of a lot of these shows because this is gonna be my perspective on a tier list compared to everything that I love. And yeah, Chainsaw Man's not that great. There is aspects of Chainsaw Man that I really, really like. But it's not a show that's like, ask me in a year what I thought of Chainsaw Man, I'll probably tell you I don't remember. Like, it's just that, it's that much of a show that compared to all the anime I've watched, isn't that great. So, yeah, it's in the top 100, and like I said, I have zero doubt that Chainsaw Man will drop out of the 100 within probably a year. It's just one of those shows that it obviously grabbed a hype and lived off that hype. And as people start watching it because it's in the top list, it'll start dripping down. So, Lane was very strange, though it was okay overall, in my opinion. Lane is definitely, it's of its time. Like, it's literally a show of its time. I just realized I'm looking at the wrong chat, because this one's too small. That one, and that one. How would you rate this tier list so far? 9 out of 10. I'm criticized my own stuff. But no, Lane is one of those shows where you had to... Is Lane even in the 100 list? I don't think it is it? Lane is one of those ones that sadly gets kind of pushed out because people, as they start watching it, they're going to be like, what is this show? Why is it so popular? What's with all this computer stuff and noise? It just doesn't last the test of time. So, Cyberpunk... I really like Cyberpunk, but again, it's not one of those shows that's like, oh my gosh, this is like one of the greatest anime of all time. It's a really good show. Cyberpunk S. It's S for the year. It was literally my top list of the year, but again, overall, I don't think it's that great. Let's all love Lane, yes. What would you say is better, Anime Planet or AnimeList? I've never used Anime Planet. Chris does, co-host of Otaku Spirit, for those who don't know. He does use Anime Planet, and I've been trying to get him to move to AnimeList for the longest time, but I just don't think he wants to bother with the list in general, so... This is based on popularity or rating. I'm doing it based on my own likes. Otherwise, there's no point in me doing a tier list if it's not my own likes. But this is the 100 based on... Does it specify? Let me see. Top anime. It's based on rating. Yeah, it's based on rating. Chainsaw Man's better than Cyberpunk. Yeah, you do you, Excel Dog. I mean, that's fine if you liked it that much. I can't agree. What about Kitsu? Kitsu what? What do you think about the Bakemonogatari series? We're going to get to that one. That one is... here? Yeah. Boat to the Rock. I do see that probably staying in Mal because it got a massive amount of popularity. And I don't necessarily see that one as much getting dumped on later. And it's something that could hopefully increase as more seasons comes out, if more seasons come out. If they don't do more seasons, they're dumb. At this point, if they don't do more seasons of Boat to the Rock, they're dumb. I think it goes right there with Cyberpunk for me. I think it's a fantastic series, but at the same time, it's probably not gonna... It's like, I've already forgotten about it. I know that's kept popularity, but I don't think in the long run it's gonna be a series that holds on to me for a long time. It's definitely not gonna be a series that'll end up in like one of my top favorite anime. It would probably, if I did like another 100 list, it probably would end up in it. Maybe in the 50s as well. But yeah. Kitsu, the anime, well, the website, I don't recall what that is, so I may have seen it, but I don't know. Cyberpunk should be 24 episodes. The middle of the show was too rushed. I think the ending was rushed for sure. It had its issues late in it, which were basically fueled by not communicating, which is always frustrating, but it's a good ending, but at the same time, it did feel a little rushed. I agree. I guess that Cowboy Bebop's like a C. Cowboy Bebop, Cowboy Bebop is one of a few shows that will be in this list that I think are 10 out of 10 shows, but at the same time aren't a favorite. There's a few episodes of Cowboy Bebop that I just didn't care for. And there's a lot of episodes that I really, really love. So, I think it's a solid A. I probably did an A. Again, I think there is something, I will perfectly be clear that I do often think shows are perfect, but not favorites. Favorite episodes of Bebop? I watched the first episode a lot. I don't know why, I just really love the first episode. There's obviously the space truck segment, which is really fantastic. I love a lot of the phase episodes. Towards the later parts, I enjoy the ending of it. I don't recall much about the movie. I suppose anime dude, half of Super's arcs sucked. Dragon Ball. Yeah, most of Dragon Ball sucks. If you're perfectly honest, most of it is kind of crap. But there's points in which it really hits. So S tier for you. I mean, in terms of like its like influence on anime, it's incredible. That's just like Evangelion. If people don't like Evangelion and hate the ending or whatever, you still can't deny that it has like so much influence on the anime sphere. So I thought Trigun was better than Cowboy Bebop. For me back then, my big hype was is it Outlaw Star? Was it Outlaw Star? The one with the spaceship and the girl in the core of it? That was like my favorite back then. Like my favorite space type of Western-ish type of thing. Yeah, I even have the collector's edition for it. I don't know why. That was just mine. Not to say that it's better than Cowboy Bebop. I'm not saying that. It's just, again, for my entertainment back then, that was what was entertaining to me. So, I was a dumb young kid. So, there you go. Wolf Children, I think, again, is another one of those shows where it's like, it's super good. It's a super good, concise story. It tells its story. It does it beautifully. But again, like overall for my favorite of all time, it's not really up there, but I still think it's a great series. So maybe A, high B. So it's a good show. I'm happy it's on the list. The brown muscle cat has ruined his mind. The brown muscle cat? What's a brown muscle cat? The show for next season? Space Dandy season 2 was gold. Yeah, I have not watched I watched some Space Dandy, but I've never finished it. Do you remember Wolf's Rain? Man, that takes me back. Yeah, Wolf's Rain is great. The OP is fantastic. Agent Klon or whatever his name. Is that from Outlaw Star? Am I just forgetting a character? It's been a long time. I'm just saying back then I was really into it. Add trash tier for you. I probably should, but I'm probably gonna make some people angry. Somebody knows my dislike for Your Lie in April. Somebody knows my dislike for Your Lie in April. Should I? Oh, it's adding. I always think that it's going to get rid of the screen when it does it. Drives me crazy. Should I? What would a live stream be without entertainment of causing drama, right? I don't like Your Lie in April. I think it's beautiful. I think the music's fantastic. The performances are fantastic. I think the main girl is beautiful. I just hate the story. I hate the dialogue. I hate how massively flagging it is from the very beginning. You know what's coming. Not to say that has to affect your enjoyment. The biggest issue that I had really with the series is I didn't like the chemistry. Not the chemistry, but the what's the word? The mood shifting. There's a term for it, and I'm blanking right now because I'm an idiot. Not pacing. Pacing was fine. The tonal shifts. Like, they would have a serious moment, and then some stupid joke would come up, or comedic-looking characters. It would just... The comedy ruined the show. Like, if they took the comedy out of it, it would have been a fantastic slice of life. And I would probably think it's one of the greatest shows of all time, but that ruined it for me. So, yeah. But we'll see. Over time, we'll have people jumping in the chat going, why the hell is that in there? And I'm like, I'm not going to re-explain it. Go back. Go back to the 30-minute point, I guess is where it would be at. But it is what it is, so. Yeah. Is there Sword Art Online in here? Surely that Sword Art Online is not in the top 100 anime of all time. I think that has been such ex-girlfriend out of the list, yeah, it's gone. So, there you go. Here's another one that's gonna make some people mad. Howl's Moving Castle, never liked. I know that's probably a hot take for some people. Howl's Moving Castle is literally the only Ghibli film that I did not like. Just didn't like it. I thought the story was just, it was boring. I just didn't care for it. It was Miyazaki being too on the nose with his beliefs, and I think it kind of ruined the show. Howl's is the best. Yeah, and I know there's a lot of people that love Howl's. That's why I'm saying it's going to make people angry. And I didn't think people liked Howl's when it first came out, but then here recently, a lot of people are speaking up. They really like it. So, again, as per usual, I'm not angry at people liking things. QB, thanks for becoming a member for 5 months now. Thank you so much for the support, man. I really appreciate it. You're awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. The support keeps us going. I love it, man. How's the best Ghibli film? Tales of the Earthsea is the best Ghibli film. I've never actually seen Earthsea. That's one of the few I've not watched. And My Neighbor Totoro, which I know is like, what? I've watched over 2,000 anime, and that's one I have not watched. It's almost like one of those ones where I want to keep it off the side, never watch it, in case like I just need a new Ghibli film, because obviously they're never going to make any more Ghibli films. I've only watched Princess Mononoke. You watched one of the best ones, in my opinion. Hot take. I gave Howl's a 7 out of 10. I get your points. I watched Howl like 6 times. Nice. Are you ranking these against each other or overall? It's both. I mean, it's my personal taste, and my personal taste will have them against each other. So yeah. Every now and then I'll kind of go like, well, okay, this one I actually really like more than this one, so obviously this needs to be above it or something like that. So Ponyo is a second favorite. Maidabus is in the list. Both seasons got in the list, so that's good. Really like Castle in the Sky. If you do watch it, watch the original English dub and not the Disney one. You probably watch it Japanese, unless there's something wrong with the Japanese language version. Only watch Ponyo and Princess one. I hate Howl's Moving Castle. It was the worst editing in anime history. You don't even realize it's supposed to be a romance. That I did get a sense of that as well, but it was like, what? Like, are we trying to do something here? It's weird. It's weird. The beginning was really good, though. I actually liked the opening of it. It just got blah later. But yeah. Princess Mononoke is literally... It's one of my favorite It probably is my favorite Ghibli film of all time. I have watched Princess Mononoke... easily probably 10 times, maybe more. I just love it. I love the... It's got a great layout, great opening, lead into the big parts, introduction of characters, very simple story that just hits for a movie. So, yeah, I love it. Music's fantastic, characters are fantastic, the voicing's fantastic, animation's amazing, especially for its time. They did some really evolutionary type of stuff in animation for that show, or that movie. So, yeah, I love it. Can't remember, is Talking Tuxedo CST one of Ghibli's? Was one of Ghibli's? Talking Tuxedo. The cat? I think so. I think I know what you're talking about. Have not seen any of the trash anime. Good. Spirited Away. This is another one of those ones where I think it's a perfect movie. It's literally, it was like the biggest grossing animated film of all time back for a while. It's an amazing movie. It's not technically one of my favorites though, but it is absolutely incredible. I'll still put it in S because I think it's not that I don't like anything about it. It's just not like a personal super favorite. So, but it's definitely above like a lot of this stuff. So it might eventually get bumped off the S, but it's a fantastic movie, and it's literally like a legendary movie. Yeah, The Cat Returns. There it is. That's the name. I was like, I recognize what you're talking about. I don't think I've watched that one. I can't remember. 86. I really like 86. But also there's a lot of things I don't like about it. And this is first and second season. 86 does drag at points. And that's why I think it's kind of a struggle for me to really put together, because it's in no way like a perfect show. It's got a lot of issues. But when it hits, it hits. No, I didn't ping the Discord because I was super late. If you want to do an @stream people and let them know, I appreciate it. But yeah, I was like super late, so I like literally sat down, turned on the stream, and was like, okay, here we go, we're doing this. But no, 86 I probably put like against everything else. Like it's probably, I'll put it in the B area with these guys, because these guys are like, I really like them, but I don't think they're like super favorites. So yes, there's a Discord. It's in the description. Why aren't you a part of it, Dylan? My biggest hot take is 2 out of 10 for a silent voice. Oh, yeah, that's a hot take. I'll give you credit for that one. I'll give you credit for that one. Your Name. Your Name's one of those movies, like, I enjoyed it at the time, but it's so forgettable. Am I alone on the fact that literally when I see Your Name, I'm like, oh yeah, that existed? Like, it was a good movie, but it's a very simple movie. Like, there's just one gimmick to it, and it just happens. Like, it's not, I think because of the fact that it has one gimmick, and once that gimmick's gone, it's like, shrug. It's just, we kind of move on with our lives. I mean, the fandom for it, and I love the success for it. Don't get me wrong. I think it was, didn't it surpass Spirited Away? I think it surpassed Spirited Away, didn't it? But honestly, that's partly because it's anime has gained in popularity. I don't necessarily think that's because it's better than Spirited Away. One of your least favorite Shinkai films. I can't go with you on that one, but understandable anyways. Your Name wasn't better than all the anime OVAs created to get interest in the light novel mangas. With romance movies, it's a hit or miss. No, it's still good, but like I said, it's just not, it has no staying power for me in my mind. It's still good. Like, all the shows are going to be good in some way, except for the trash stuff. Garden of Words you preferred? That's interesting. But again, I think I kind of agree with the idea of it just depends on, like, each individual person, what kind of vibes with them when it comes to romance. Your Name's barely romance. It is sort of. I think it's a clever mechanic to have romance, because it's literally the two of them discovering each other while not being with each other, which I think is cool. I mean, it's got cool concepts in there, but in the end, like I said, it's just kind of, it fleeted my mind really quickly. So Your Name is better than the live action Little Mermaid. I haven't looked into anything about the Little Mermaid live action, so I have no idea what you're talking about, but how everything else is going in the West, I would imagine it's probably terrible. I don't know. Voice of a Distant Star hits harder. I think I watched that. Yeah, I think I have the Blu-ray of it. Can you rename Trash Tier today? Maybe eventually. Maybe eventually. But like I said, it's just for fun. It's just for fun. All right, this will probably surprise some people. Even though, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Give me one. I don't want to do that. I don't want to cut off the thing again. Where's my thing here? Yeah. 1 second. If I can find it. Where did I put it? lost it. I don't know where the hell I put it. Okay, I Want to Eat Your Pancreas, but I don't know where it's at. I bought I Want to Eat Your Pancreas, and I have yet to watch it. And I'm now kind of surprised to see that it's actually in the top anime of all time. Is it that good? I heard some people whispering about it when it came out, but I haven't really heard too much fandom behind it. No, I don't have a poster of Pancreas, no. Which, yeah, these are all like Ram, Roxy, and Fate Unlimited Blade Works. It's aight. I thought it was Klana because of the Sakura trees. Let's talk about Andrew behind his back. Don't be mean. What is this thing? YouTube, can you stop telling me to run ads? I understand that you can do that. Are there like 4 Clannad series? There's 3. Clannad After Story, and well, yeah, there's technically Tomoyo After Story, and then there's they did a Kyo After Story, right? I think they did 2 more After Stories, but they're like OVAs though. A Silent Voice. I think it's a solid A. I'm not gonna go S tier on it because I still think it should have been a TV series. Although the movie is not harmed by the lack of the stories, there is like one character that's sort of a little bit lackluster because they didn't do all the content from the manga. But it's still really good, visually good. They portray it really well, transitioning from manga. The ending sort of sucks to not have like the full manga ending, but it's still a really beautiful story. I really love it. So, oh yeah, by far way better than Your Name. Way better. Want to Eat Your Pancreas is a nice movie, but it's not better than Silent Voice. The drama in Silent Voice put it an F tier for you? Which drama? Like bullying and regrets and all the other themes it gets into later? I don't know if there's any drama in there that's not really believable to me. Like, I read the manga all the way through. They announced the movie. I was upset that it wasn't a TV series because I didn't see how they could do the whole story in a movie. They did the movie. Like I said, if you've never read the manga, you'd never know. But there is like one character that's a little bit kind of, what the hell is this character acting this way without the context? But Clannad is a prime example of visual novel being so much better. I will agree and disagree because Clannad is one of the rare cases where they managed to cover most all the character arcs without feeling crappy. Like, around the time that Clannad came out, there was a lot of visual novels with multiple story branches that were being adapted. All of them sucked, except for Clannad. And the other thing that makes Clannad so great is that the main character is so, like, comedic. Like, he stands out as a character in that show, whereas, again, most visual novel adaptations were just, like, blank main character that just has no personality. Silent Voice is kind of offensive for me. Too much drama about the girl and the disease, I guess. Anyways, that's Silent Voice. I like it. Attack on Titan. Again, it's the full series. For me, personally, it's like a C. Maybe B. Maybe low B, high C. Amagami, if it came out these days, I'd be clipping it like crazy. It's got some interesting scenes in it, that's for sure. Like the belly button scene. You're a bold man, that Attack on Titan rating. Like I said, this is overall from my personal taste. Attack on Titan, I really loved at first. First season was phenomenal. Second season was great. It just, over time, like I've mentioned before several times, I think the point in which they started broadening out the story, it was really kind of the killing point for me, was really the point in which they had the big festival at the other kingdom, and then they and I went in there and attacked it and all that kind of stuff. That's where it just went downhill for me. Like, the more broad they made the world itself, the less interesting it became, and the ending sucks. And yes, I've read the manga, so I know how it ends. It's just a really crappy ending. Not like it did anything wrong. It's just, it was just like a very shrug and like really ending. But I think there's going to be a lot. I'm really curious how the anime onlys are going to respond to the anime ending. Because I think a lot of the manga fans have pretty much made their voice heard. It doesn't look like the anime is going to do any different than the manga. Though, because of all the heat that the manga is getting for this ending, the anime, when it gets to that point, everybody might actually say they like it because they're gonna have the worst expectations and go, it wasn't that bad. And it probably will get some better ratings. Who knows? But again, the anime itself has done so much to really improve the original manga. So I do give them mad respect for that. Attack on Titan is mid, sue me. No, I'll just sue you for using the mid term. The mid term is not allowed. Attack on Titan is the same level as Chainsaw Man. Damn. I think it's... between the first season of Chainsaw Man and Attack on Titan, I would say Attack on Titan's better, of course. But, again, I'm going based on the whole series. Restaurant is the best Attack on Titan opening. It was an homage for school days. I have yet to see the last part of Attack on Titan. No spoilers, but when I learned that there was Titans came from, I was so disappointed. It was a season 1 theory. I just fell off with Attack on Titan towards the final part of 1, though it's not bad at all. Yeah, this isn't saying it's bad. Like, C for my overall like of anime is not bad. Like, I could put, if I wanted to fill this thing out, I would put D, E, F down here. I mean, it's in the middle area for me, so. Berserk. I really loved it when I first watched it, but I will admit I don't remember anything about it. It's probably an S if I rewatched it. I don't know, it could be an S. I bought the whole manga series, and I'm planning on reading through the whole thing. Its only negative is that the ending kind of bad. And we were all waiting for the next series to come out. We didn't know if that was the ending or not when it first aired. And everything they've adapted since then sucks. And that's like the only thing that sucks about it. I really wish that one of these days somebody does a proper job with it. But I don't think they are, because they've already improved the bad CGI versions. And so that makes me believe they're never going to ever give it a proper full adaptation. Just because they've done it before. Unless they're just going to keep milking it. And they're like, oh, okay, we remade it. Now let's remake it again. Where the Titans come from, people online read the usual websites. I think the major hype of Chainsaw Man came from later parts of the manga, like the middle of the manga, and the anime only gets to like 10 or maybe 15 chapters. Yeah, I read a little bit ahead from the anime, and it gets some good stuff, so I don't know. I might read some more. The opening song, Berserk, is S tier song. Yes, it is. Dio finished season 2 at least. If you drop after season 2, nobody would blame you. Berserk is way dark for me from what I've heard. Yeah, the ending of the original anime was just, it was the eclipse. It's not a good point to leave it on, really. I mean, there's a couple points after that, but it's a really bad spot to leave it. Anyways, Bleach, 1,000-Year Blood War. This is another toughie. This is actually another toughie. Bleach is my favorite shonen of all time. Long-running shonen epic. Which is literally, for those who don't know, it's like the shonens that keep going. Hundreds of episodes or whatever. It's my favorite. I think Ichigo is easily my favorite shonen protagonist of all time. But at the same time, I'm not a massive shonen fan anymore. Over time, I've grown tired of shonens. And granted, Bleach unfortunately got a huge, massive pause before it continued on. I never went back to get to read the manga, so I had to wait for this to come out. By the way, hate Bleach manga fans because, well, at least the ones that were spoiling the entire show when I was trying to do video impressions of it. I will admit, going into this season looks incredible. Same great music, a little bit of use of CGI, but not bad. And they kind of stopped. Gets even more brutal, but did start to introduce an aspect that sort of frustrates me, which is the everyman concept. To not spoil things, there's an everyman concept of this story where it's like everything connects, and this season kind of introduced that last link, and it's like, really? Does it have to connect everything? Do we really have to be everything? It did make me kind of roll my eyes a little bit, but it's still super good. I still really enjoy it. Like I said, it's technically one of my favorite shonens. It is my favorite shonen, so. But overall, like, compared to everything else, like I said, I'm just not a shonen fan anymore, so it's not like it's a great series for me overall. Fairy Tail is fun to watch. I tried. Fairy Tail is really hard for me. Fairy Tail just, the anime drags. It drags a lot, but it has some good points in it. The humor is hard for me too. If you don't take it seriously. Everything's really good if you don't take it seriously. Bunny Girl Senpai, I have not watched the last movie. Did the movie come out already? I'm guessing that's probably why this is literally the icon for the movie. I do like Bunny Girl Senpai. I don't think it's incredible, but I do like it. It's a very refreshing. It's very Monogatari, and I think a lot of people were saying that when it aired. It's very Monogatari series, with like with a more focus on romance. Granted, Monogatari has romance, but it's normie Monogatari. It's a really good way to put it. If you can't follow that dialogue that's going a million miles an hour, check out Bunny Girl Senpai. There's a couple of arcs that are kind of shrug. I think that's the only thing that kind of hurts it for me, but it's still good. It's still really good. When's the next Fairy Cast? I think I still literally have one that's just not edited. I need to release it eventually. Honestly, it's probably going to take these seasons slowing down before I can ever get back on the Fairy Cast. Keep asking important questions. I don't even remember where we left off. I think we were just ending. I think we just got to going into Fairy Tail the final. I think we were just about to get into that, which I was actually excited for. Clannad is, I'll say a solid A. I'm not going to put it in S as much as it is technically one of my... let me think. I really like it. Yeah, I'm going to go S. I really like it. I will say that its art style has not aged well, and I still to this day really wish that KyoAni would do a re-adaptation with their new modern style. But I do understand the idea that the eyes are the windows to the souls, and seeing these massive eyes cry hurts you even more. Yeah, I D-Dot, agree. I think for the longest time, every time I suggested the show, the biggest complaint was the eyes. And again, it grew on me. I mean, I do actually technically have a Tomoya, which is best girl up here. It grew on me over time, but at the same time, I do acknowledge that it was like a little bit much coming into it. You skipped half? I mean, is that a question for somebody else? Oh, I skipped half of After Story. Oof. That was some of the good stuff, though. I will say the first season, I think, was a lot more enjoyable for me. But After Story was really hard to get through. Planet Anime never covered favorite route and Sunohara and Chick fools around in Club Room. I think my dogs are fighting again. Give me 1 second. My dog literally wants to kill my brother's dog for some reason. You got your butt kicked this time. Ugh. This is what I was talking about earlier, that I had something come up. The dogs, once they get it in their system, they get nasty. And I hate it. Anyways, Doggo's like, I have to literally go up there and like grab both the dogs by the necks and pry them apart. Ugh. You get it out of your system? Obviously not. Her face is messed up. Ornery dogs. Don't know why I'm alive at this point. I'm pissed that I missed the sudden stream. We're not that far into it. We still got a lot to go. Even though my dog's bleeding out. I'm joking. She's not bleeding out. Geass. It's really good. I really enjoy the ending. It does have some shrug parts, though, I admit. B or A, I think it's for me. Maybe high B. I'm gonna do high B. But I'm the third dog to beat up instead. That's literally the problem, because I have like this older dog. And whenever the two of them start, he'll just come out of nowhere. And he's like the oldest, most crippled, chubby dog. And he's literally like, suddenly out of nowhere, he's got like this burst of strength to run over. It's crazy. Death Note. God, there's a lot of shows that I'm getting to now. They're like, there's so much good in it, but then they're like these points that really suck. Heard that it was overrated. Is that true? Geass? I don't know. I mean, it's really good. Like a lot of the political stuff, a lot of the stuff around the main character. Like I said, it's really one of the later parts where it starts to kind of drag a little bit. It's been a long time. I want to say it's a lot to do with around like all the political strategy with the other nations and stuff like that, where I think it starts to kind of get a little bit much. And the rival character, I think, was just kind of a little bit rough for me. But the ending's like really good. It's a really good ending. Those points that suck can make other points better. Right? It could. It could, I guess. Anyways, but I haven't watched any of the other Code Geass stuff, by the way. I only watched the first season and second season. I just... Something about the other seasons I just never really cared to even jump into. So, that's not including those. Death Note... I like the movie ending better, the live-action movie better, but it's really good. I really do like Death Note. I think it's fantastic. I think there's a lot of people that might say it's overrated at this point, but shrug. It's still an incredible series. There's a reason why it's gotten so many adaptations. It's because it's really good. But yeah, I do admit the whole part later on was a little bit bad, but that's why I said I recommend to people to watch Death Note up until the point. There's an arc, the N arc. Is his name N? When they get away from L. At some point in the series, it gets away from L. Stop watching at that point and watch the Japanese live action film. I'm not saying the live action Netflix one, the live action Japanese films. Way better ending. Yeah, it's near. The ending to the live action movies is so much better. It is so much better. And they actually did a decent job with the CGI. The Nier stuff just ties a knot. Do you like the Nier stuff? Is there people in the chat that like the Nier stuff? You don't need to cut. No, I'm not saying that any of the episodes were like bad and you shouldn't watch it for Geass. It's just there was a part where it frustrated me a little bit, but it's not like terrible. You like the Nier arc? Interesting. It seemed like back when it actually was first coming out, everybody hated it. I heard there was a Death Note musical. Oh, for sure. There's probably a Death Note musical. And then I ate the chip. Yes, I ate the chip. So it's more like forced ending light needed. That's what I meant. It wasn't awful. Played better when I read it versus watching it. I actually really wanted to read the manga. I never did. I actually wanted to get the box set of it. It was. I do like the fact of Nier just to kind of more explain where L came from. So that's definitely, there's aspects that are good about it. So don't get me wrong there. Oh, Demon Slayer. It's not great. Like it visually is fantastic. Music's fantastic. Directing's fantastic. It's just the story's just not there. The story's really not been there. And yes, Zenitsu is extremely annoying. I'm trying to get my other brother to watch Death Note. Demon Slayer. And he's actually watching the dub. And like the dub is playing and all I can hear is Zenitsu's Japanese voice graining in my ears. Unfortunately for Demon Slayer is that it is a shonen. And shonens, for the most part, are geared towards kids. And kids like loud, obnoxious, dumb characters. And so 99% of the comedy just does not work for me. The comedy in Demon Slayer does not work for me. The characters work for me. I do like Tanjiro. I love Nezuko. I like the Hashiras, even though most of them they have a quirk and that's their quirk and they just do the quirk over and over again. It's just like there's a little bit of a taste of a good story in there, but there's nothing else besides that. Demon Slayer is like Dragon Ball. The story isn't that good, but it's so much fun to watch. Yeah, and I have fun watching it. Besides maybe the last couple episodes, which feel like they dragged out like crazy. I only watched Death Note a couple of years ago, and honestly, I liked it the first half, but after L, there was multiple times I wanted to drop it. Yeah, so that's pretty much the same boat that most people are. Which again, I remind you, go watch the movies. Go watch the Japanese live-action movies. It'll wrap it up for you, nice and clean. I think if you're looking for a conclusion, go watch the live actions. It wraps it up. And it's a really good ending. Demon Slayer will forever have the reason in football. Yeah, Mitsuri is really incredible. She's about the only thing that's saving it for me right now. Evangelion, I know it's a hot take these days. S tier. I watched that series and Death and Rebirth over and over and over and over again. I'm still super happy that I bought the original Blu-ray collection, or not Blu-ray collection. I bought the Blu-ray collection, which is really overpriced and terrible package, but the original DVD, really love it. Ava F tiers at best. Yeah, I know that there's like, I think before even, no, was it before or after? At some point, Evangelion became an ex-girlfriend, and everybody suddenly don't like that it's popular, but it's incredible. It's like I said, its influence in anime itself is insane. It's a massive franchise. Literally, the song for it is one of the biggest grossing songs ever in Japan because of all the karaoke. It's great. I've only one question: why is Silent Voice an A and not S? Besides, that's everything okay. Because I'm kind of putting it together for all of my shows, and even though it's technically like a 10 out of 10, it's just not gonna go up against the S tiers. I still think it's fantastic. There is one aspect of it that I'm kind of a little bit disappointed, and that's the fact they didn't cover certain story arcs from the manga, but again, those wouldn't fit in the movie. I wanted a TV series. And the ending could have been, I wish they kind of did the manga ending. But nothing wrong with the movie itself. It's still incredible. It just doesn't stand up to the rest of the shows. Understandable. Have a nice day. Hope you're doing well. Just stopped by to say hi. Going to bed now, 4 a.m. Romania. Gotta be back for cinema work, 10 a.m. opening. Shift will be stuck because it's extremely crowded today, June 1st. Yeah, that's true. Well, I hope you have a good one, man. Take it easy. Children's Day, and we got offers for kid movies. Great. Great. Stay safe out there and don't get pink eye. I used to have to work in like a big chain store, and there was a lot of kids around, and for some reason, like, pink eye like crazy. I hated it. You had to like have sanitizers everywhere. Kids are nasty. No, kids are nasty. From what I've seen, Spotify, Garage by Lisa, Demon Slayer Season 1, OP is the most streams anime song I know, and the second I know. Yeah, like, I mean, like, with the Eva thing, it's like this karaoke thing in Japan. Like, it's huge. They made so much money from that song. Great if you can deal with the rest. Okay. Alright. Fate, this is on Unlimited Blade Works. I haven't finished it yet. I watched the first 2 parts, and then I got the 3rd part in, and it'd been so long since I watched the 2nd part that I wanted to go back and watch the 1st part and 2nd part before I watched the 3rd part, and I have yet to do that. So far, I really enjoy it. It's not my favorite arc, but it's good. And yes, it looks incredible, so there you go. But yeah, just based on the first 2 parts, which is obviously not the full story, I'd put it probably in the C area. Fate Stay Night Dean version's the only one you watch, Slayer? I'm sorry. You should watch Fate Zero. Since you watched Stay Night, you should watch Fate Zero and see if that resparks it for you. They need to adapt the Lost Belts. You guys are obsessed with the Lost Belts. Prisma Ilya best Fate. I don't care. I liked Fate Ilya early on. It just kind of dropped the ball for me at some point, but it's still good. All right, FMA. It's time for FMA. What does Andrew think of FMA? Even though he's talked about FMA a million times, that most people probably already know what he thinks of FMA. You think Apocrypha is the best Fate? Interesting. I think it's good. I did enjoy Apocrypha compared to most people. I think my favorite Fate is probably... I want to say Zero. But no, like I said, I liked Apocrypha. It was good. I think A. I think I'm gonna put it in A. like I said, I for those that may have missed it, because I know there might be somebody that pops into this video later on because it jumps on their feet or something like that, so I gotta explain myself. I think Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood is literally a 10 out of 10 show. It's more like a 9.8 out of 10. It's nearly perfect show. The pacing's perfect. It's really well put together. The directing's great. The characters, the stories, everything's great. No character really feels wasted. Everywhere they go, everywhere the story goes, it's all perfectly in line with each other. It's so good. The only negative I can possibly give it is that I hate that they recap at the beginning of Brotherhood. They should have just done a full readaptation of the whole thing, rather than them just kind of assuming that you watched the original series, throw a recap in there, and move on. I really do kind of want Brotherhood to be a full, readaptation from the very beginning, but it doesn't ruin it. It's still a really incredible series. So, yeah, it's one of those series that's a nearly 10 out of 10 perfect show, but it's just not a favorite. It's not a series that I beloved. I just enjoyed it a lot, and I think it's incredible. How much is FMA? I think it was just a brief part of one episode, but it just jumps right into it. The first episode, literally, he's already a part of their group. Whereas the original series starts off with him getting invited into the group. If they focus more on, rather than trying to make Jane a waifu, I would have liked it more. But Jean's great, though. I'm not going to be mad because I like Jean. But I will admit those were kind of a jarring part of the whole story. But I enjoy them because I like Jean, so. If they did that, I would have agreed. I never watched Brotherhood. Do they drop drop the short jokes? No. That's literally the joke. They like that joke. Oshinoko better than FMA. I'm not gonna go with that quite yet. We'll see where Oshinoko goes. It's too early, comparatively, I guess. But I know everything I'm hearing about the manga is making me think that it's probably gonna be incredible too. So, and everything that they've done so far has been incredible. So, definitely feels like Aka Akasaka is at his prime, being able to just focus on writing. Jane is a waifu, yes. Gene Alter better, John? I can't agree with that. I'm not too into that. John Alter's one of those, yeah, she's super hot and sexy and everything like that, but at the same time, you don't really want to be with that. You think you want to be with that. You don't really want to be with that. I don't know, some people probably want to be with that. Fruits Basket. Yes, Santa Alter Lily peak, yes. Santa Alter Lily is super cute. Gosh, I am so mixed on this one. I am so mixed on this one too. I think it's going high B. Fruits Baskets is Fruits Basket? Fruits Baskets? Is it? I always forget if it's Fruits Basket or Fruit Baskets. I think it's Fruits Basket. Fruits Basket is super good. Really love it. Love the characters. Love the concept behind it. But even with... Is it baskets? There are a bunch of basket cases, so that makes sense. It's a great story and concept, and I like all the characters. But at some point, it literally just starts chasing its tail. I was actually really happy when the final season came out because I was kind of getting sick of it. They just kept going back and forth between, are they going to accept that she's being kind and push away from, I forget what the hell their name was, the big bad leader of the group, the family. I'm forgetting names already. It just kept going back and forth. It kept going back and forth between, am I going to accept that I can be loved and not be loved? Am I going to be loved? Am I not going to be loved? I just got really annoyed by it. And so when the final season came out, I was like, thank you. Akuto, yes. Thank you, let's finish this. So I don't know. Was it 3 seasons in the final season? Whatever season was before the final season, I started getting sick of the story. I was like, I just wrap this up. I'm done. So there's literally like a big old chunk of the series that I just didn't like. And that's the only reason it's not like anything higher than a B. I haven't watched Suzume yet. I don't, I'm not going to ever watch it because you're asking me if I can watch Suzume yet. Haven't you asked me like 5 times at this point, or was that somebody else? Yo, yeah, Fruits Basket's massively better than Twilight. I barely even got into Twilight and I got sick of that movie series. And it gave us the worst, was it Burger King commercial ever. Here's Andrew's big shame moment. Not watched. But most people know that already. Haven't finished Gurren Lagann either. I've tried to watch through the series like 4 times. I get halfway through it and then I get bored. So yeah, I've not finished that one yet. No, GTO. GTO is like one of those series where I'm super happy it's in the Mal's 100 list. But at the same time, I can fully acknowledge that it doesn't age too well. GTO just does not age well. I did really enjoy it when I watched it. Was way better than I thought that it was going to be. But at the same time, it has that symptom of old classic comedies where it just has this shtick and it keeps doing it. Like every episode, he's got to destroy something and make what was he like he wasn't a principal. I think it was just one of the other teachers. It totally ruined the other teacher's day, and the other teacher's super mad and wants to sabotage him all the time. But where it's good is just in each of the individual stories. It is a concept of a guy that just wants to become a teacher so that he can hang around hot high schoolers and whatnot, or was it college students? He wants to get with hot schoolgirls, and at some point he just runs into all these difficulties that each of the kids are facing, and then solves them in the most Yakuza way possible. And it's so good. The main character is so Onizuka. Great teacher Onizuka. Onizuka is so fantastic. He's got such great chemistry with the characters. It's just like a lot of the comedy outside of it is kind of is a little bit dated. So, but like I said, I'm super happy that it's even in the top Mal list. It's just a super shock to me. I would put Gurren Lagann as a B. Solid action scenes and good characters. Some parts were pretty dragged though. Do you plan on doing a top 100 popular in Mal tier list after this? Is the popularity list that different? I guess it could be very different. It would just be a bunch of shonens. Isn't that just going to be all the shonens in the popularity based on how many members? It's just going to be a bunch of shonens. But I mean, if we have time, I wouldn't mind doing it. It's just going to take me a while to put it together. Unless somebody has a list already made. Girlon took the To the Infinity and Beyond quite literally. Just found Slam Dunk first volume at a shop. Nice. And GTO. I watched season 1 of Haikyuu and it was boring most of the time. So GTO, I'm gonna put it in the B area. Like I said, I really love it. It's just there's a lot of it that's sort of dated, but I love Onizuka. Onizuka's great. I have not watched Haikyuu. I've watched like 4 or 5 episodes and I dropped it, and then it got super popular and I just never went back to try it again. It's very different. There's like no get up in the list. Oh, really? I guess that makes sense. No Game No Life has a huge fandom, so all those poor people waiting for a second season that's never coming. I have not finished Haruhi Suzumiya. I got to the, what do they call it, the Crazy Eights segment and never finished it. Kept meaning to go back and watch it, never did. I really do want to though. I even bought the Blu-rays so I can go watch it again. One of these days I'll get around to finally finishing that one. Hunter x Hunter, never watched. Plan on it eventually. We all read the novels, and No Game No Life is very good. I actually have quite a few of the novels. Actually, I bought them for Chris, but yeah, he left them behind. He left them behind when he moved, so Maybe one of these days I'll pick them up. But I don't know if the novels that I bought are beyond the anime or not. But I wasn't a huge fan of No Game Life. I love the aesthetic of it and everything. I just don't, I'm not a huge fan of No Game Life. I'm like one of the few people that I don't hate No Game No Life, but I'm not like a super fan. Like I really have a huge problem with series that are about a game, but it's never about the game. And I know that's the point, but when there's so much setup for a game, and then the concept is to not play the game, I would wish they would stop introducing the game. Like, there's an element to it. It's like, okay, we just spent like half an episode explaining this game, and we didn't even play the game, and it kind of frustrates me in that regard. But I like the characters and everything. I think they're fantastic. And like I said, the art style is super unique. I just hope that if they ever actually do another season, they keep the same style. The movie was good. I enjoyed the movie. I even got the whole box set for the movie and the series. I think No Game No Life is very smart, but it is disguised for the slow of heart. What is a slow of... I don't think I've ever heard the slow of heart. What is a slow of heart? I don't think I've ever heard that term before. Like, 3 a.m. pancake butts. I've never heard of a 3 a.m. Denny's pancake butt, but I've learned that term recently, apparently. I have not watched Hajime no Ippo either. Chris really wants me to watch it really badly. Just never have yet. But I've heard a lot of good things about Ippo. Another hot take. Jujutsu Kaisen is literally probably the least of all of these shows. It's just visually great. That's it. The fights are really cool. That's it. There's no story. Don't really care about any of the characters except for Gojo. Gojo's super hot. Gojo's like right there. Nowhere near Kendra Suda as a man crush character, but Gojo's super hot. So that's it. I think it's a cool action fighting show, but there's no real... It's a shonen. It's a shonen, so the story is just not really there for me. It started pretty strong, though. I like the beginning segments. It has a pretty solid shonen setup with the fingers. Go find the fingers. I really, really like the concept of having this internal conflict that this thing comes out. It'll eventually just completely kill everybody. Granted, it's very similar to a certain ninja show. I'm realizing very quickly this is very similar to Naruto. At least there's no annoying rival character yet. But I like Gojo though. Hey Coffee, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. I'm really hoping second season really kicks it off. I did enjoy the movie for Jujutsu Kaisen. But season 1, like, past the very beginning of it, the rest of the series, the story just wasn't there. It was just it turned into a tournament arc really quickly, and the fights were really cool. Like, I love the whole clap switching thing. That was a super good one. Oh, there is another character I really like. I like the fish guy. I do like the fish guy. His story in the movie was cool. I really like the fish guy. So Gojo and the fish guy are my two favorite characters. Sakana. But he eats fingers or something, and there's a panda. There is a panda. The panda is pretty cool. I mean, did you hear the opinion of Joey of this? The joke is that he said it's mid, so it wasn't an unheard opinion. I'm guessing Joey of Trash Taste. No, I haven't heard their opinion on it. Naruto is a lot better than Jujutsu Kaisen. I mean, I've had more time with Naruto, so I can't... It's really hard to compare the two of them, but yeah, I really did enjoy up to Shippuden Naruto a lot. But yeah, visually and entertainment-wise, Jujutsu Kaisen beats it. I mean, there was some cool animated scenes in Naruto, don't get me wrong. I think they're first part of Gojo's backstory, more of it. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of looking forward to. Toto is my favorite just because is that the fish dude? Is that Toto? Eats finger SpongeBob. I hear the manga is better on Jujutsu. Well, I mean, that's similar to, like, probably Chainsaw Man. A lot of people are like, it's the manga. Check out the manga later. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, I have not watched. I will probably never watch it. I'm sorry. I don't want to become a JoJo's person. JoJo fans scare me, and I don't want to become one. It's the ongoing joke that I will never watch JoJo because I don't want to become a JoJo's fan. It's just enjoyable. Yeah. Kaguya-Sama, Love is War. Just watch part 5 and you still good. I fully acknowledge JoJo is probably really incredible. I have nothing bad to say about it besides I don't like the art style, and that was the original reason why I never got into JoJo's, because the moment I seen the art style I was like, not gonna happen. I know that the art style is kind of the charm and the uniqueness of it, but yeah, the fandom scares me. There is times where a fandom alone can ruin a series. It just happens. One day we'll come to the live stream and you'll be dressed up in a leather and doing JoJo poses. And claiming everything's a JoJo reference. That's exactly what's gonna happen. That's the part that's bad. Spare out the parts so you don't get this flu of JoJo. The JoJo flu is where you sneeze saying it's a JoJo reference. It's a JoJo's reference. It's a JoJo's reference. That's literally what you turn into. Anyways, Kaguya-Sama Love is War. It's pretty much a perfect show. I really have nothing bad to say about Kaguya-Sama Love is War. Every episode, I love it to death. Its comedy never gets old. The narrator nails it every time. How they manage to pull that much comedy out of the most serious, like, tonal vocals and stuff from the narrator and stuff, and overall dramatize everything. I've never read the manga, but I'm assuming a lot of the artistic choices they've made directing the anime itself is not in the manga, so all the crazy stuff they've done with the adaptation to just take it to another level has been fantastic. So, and yes, technically Akazaka is incredible, which we'll get into in a minute again. So I am pretty happy that 2 Akazakas are in the top 100 because he deserves it. Hayasaka, best girl. we're getting best girls from this show. Chika's great. I love Chika to death. I think Chika's probably my favorite. She's always kind of been my favorite. I do like, what's her name? Is it Iori? What was the Kohai? I forget what her name is. Is it Iori or, I forget. Kenshin. Miko sounds right. Kenshin's great. I don't remember too much about it. It's been way too long since I've watched it. I've watched it probably 2 times. I want to say... every time I've watched it, it's been incredible. So it's obviously a really fantastic series, but it is one of those ones where the later seasons, which is technically not in Mal's list, is the Kyoto arc. It really, like, the whole, like, not kill anybody arc is really annoying. Did you hit your boo-boo? Relax, girl. You got beat up. It happens. Are you hurting? It's okay. You're alright. Yeah, your face is all messed up. Just let it heal. Chica rap battle. Dude, when that rap battle came out, there was so many shows that were doing rap battles. There was like, what, 3 or 4 shows that did rap segments. I think, what was that? What was the name of that show with the really quiet short girl and the guy? They did one on that show, and there was another show that did a rap battle. Yeah, your boy Komain was in that season 2. They did a rap battle. It was crazy. It was really great. It was really great. Ahead-san, yes. Ahead-san had a rap battle. So, I want to say there was another show. That might have been it, though. Kingdom. Never watched it. Really badly want to watch it. I've heard nothing but good things about it. Just not gotten a chance to. Link Click. Another one that I really need to watch. Everybody can't shut up about Link Click. Here it's really, really good. Legend of Galactic Heroes is really, really good. I don't remember how good the original anime adaptation was. I should last week click. Thanks, Earthly. I appreciate it. I forgot. Just a moment lapse of memory. I was like, oh, that's right. I gotta watch that show. It's been so long since I've watched the original series. I don't remember how well it was adapted. I actually listened to the audiobook here recently, and it's like, it's such a good story. Like, the world building in that series is so crazy. Like, this writer is, like, meticulous about everything. A decent adaptation. I really want to watch the new adaptation. Obviously, partly because Sawano Hiroyuki, but, you rewatched it last year? Nice. And well, how many episodes, what is it, 100 or something like that? I really should rewatch it. I'm just gonna probably watch the new one. I haven't heard anything bad about the new adaptation, so I'm gonna hope the new adaptation does well. Made in Abyss, super good. I love freaking Made in Abyss so freaking much. It's literally one of those shows that every time I watch it, I don't know why I keep watching it, because it hurts that bad to watch it, but I just love it. The creator is, yes, weird at times, but that's what makes him great. Like, the world that they're in, so fascinating. The lot of characters they introduced to are just great. I forget what her name is. The crazy chick from the first season. Her story was, or at least her interaction was super good. Like, just massively unsettling. Like, it was like one of those characters where you're like, I think this person's a good person, but at the same time, they're probably, yeah, Ozin, they're probably not a good person. Like, there's an element of, like, I don't know if I like being around this person. So, yeah, it's really good. And then, of course, the movie wrecked me. And yeah, going into season 2 with Fapta was really good. Literally, the Seiyu destroyed her voice. Yeah, the scream. The Seiyu destroyed her voice playing out that role, and, like, I'm still mad to this day that she did not get best voice acting role in, was it last year's Crunchyroll Awards? She deserves it. Like, she deserves all the credit in the world for doing that role, because she literally broke herself. There was so much screaming, so much agony, and it hurts watching it. So, yeah, I love it. I love everything. The only thing that sucks about it is that we're pretty much caught up. Even though they're saying there's another season coming, I don't know what they're adapting. Hopefully they have the story laid out already, and they're trusting the studio to adapt it. Granted, if you read the manga, like, I checked out the later chapters leading up past the second season, just to kind of see how many more chapters they had left. And they literally had like 2 chapters, and they were really short. And what I noticed by flipping through it is that there's a lot of context not really put between the panels. Like, it's at a lot of points they kind of just jump around to kind of hit the key points. Like, the mangaka doesn't really kind of fully, like, play out each scene, which is technically a manga. It's jumping from shot to shot. So the studio is doing a really incredible job taking what I was seeing in the manga and just making it alive. And so I would assume the mangaka is pretty trusting of the studio to handle it going forward, or at least the director and whatnot. The bottom of the manga, the Made in Abyss hole, is more chapters. I have no idea what that means. Or whenever they finally get there, it's probably going to be a lot more. They got into Abyss, so they found more chapters. Manga is basically a script. Yeah. Maybe they will adapt what is happening on the surface. It would be original, because I don't think there's anything in the manga that they've jumped past that would be there. So, I don't know. This one hurts. This one hurts so much. I'm surprised Kingdom is on there. So many people wrongly complain about the animation, so it's so great. However, yeah, I have heard that there's some problems in the animation department, but I've heard nothing but good things about the story. And again, the reason why it's in the top list probably is because a lot of sequel seasons often get a lot more favor in popularity, because people that didn't enjoy the first season don't continue to the later seasons. And this is like literally 5 seasons into Kingdom. Only people watching Kingdom are people that like it. So obviously it's going to have higher ratings in its later seasons. I don't think season 1 is in the list. I think it means that there's more Made in Abyss in the manga than anime. Maybe. Is there a top? I would imagine there's probably a top list for manga. I've never seen it, though. I probably should. I might have looked at it before when I used to buy a lot of manga. It's probably how I found about Goodnight Punpun, which I really still want to read. I found that they licensed March Comes Like a Lion manga because I found it on the store. Yeah, I think I heard at some point that they did that. Yeah, there is a manga list, which will probably have light novels in it, by the way, because they always list everything together. Berserk, Vagabond, One Piece, Monster, Fullmetal Alchemist, Vinland Saga. It's pretty much what you would assume. Interesting to see Land of Lustrous in that list. That's cool. Asano Joe, GTO. March Comes Like a Lion, Silent Voice, Haikyuu. It's pretty much what you would imagine. Surprised Chainsaw Man's only 29. Made in Abyss is beating it. Ooh. Surprised Death Note is so far low. Anyways. But you know, I was happy to hear that they actually licensed the manga, because that was one that I wanted to jump into. Like, when I noticed that they weren't going to ever come out with another season, I was like, I really just need to read it. And then I found out they weren't even licensed over here, and I'm like, damn it. Damn it. I hope I ever get a second season of Land of Lustrous. I hope so. But I don't see it happening until they finally do the final season of Beastars and they finish whatever they're doing with Trigun. Because kind of what happened is they did Land of Lustrous, and then they went into Beastars. They got all the way to the end of Beastars. They announced the final season of Beastars, and then they got pulled into Trigun, started focusing on Trigun. They're probably going to finish Trigun before they even go back to do the final season of Beastars. And then hopefully they go back to Land of Lustrous, because everything that I've heard, it took them like over a year just to make the assets for Land of Lustrous. So why not? Why not go back and finish it? Because you have the assets. Like, you have it. You just got to render it again. So it's kind of sad. It's super sad, because I just freaking love Land of Lustrous. It was so good, dude. It was so good. 5 years for the whole process of a Trigun. I'd imagine. I mean, like, as much as people hate the CGI, it's like, but what they're doing with the CGI is incredible. Like, I can't, even if I don't care to have CGI, but they do some really good stuff with it. Beastars is so good. Yeah, it looks super good. I mean, the gems and everything and how they kind of structure the body is really incredible. Like, it took some actual dedication to make that. Yeah, apparently Earthly, they had an interview with Trash Taste. He talked about it. You're probably telling other people. He's told me that like 2 times. That's the joke. I love March Comes Like a Lion, though. It is literally like one of my favorite anime of all time. I really wish they would do another season of it. I love it way too much. Andrew, the director of One of the Orange, was Trash Taste worth watching? Hey, Earthly, do you know who wrote Death March Death Play? Dead Mount Death Play. You know the writer behind that one? Sorry, it's just an ongoing joke, repeating questions and statements. I'm sorry. But no, I love March Comes Like a Lion. I just there was a point in it that I didn't like. Was it like it was either in the late first season or was it early second season? There's a point where it just kind of gets a little bit drug out. But damn, I love all the characters. I love all the competitions. I love all the internal struggles. It's just everything is... God, I love the characters. And there's so many of the competitions and stuff. Like what was it in the second season when they had the competition with the old fart? And he had like pretty much all of his friends and people that he used to play with behind him that have like either passed away or moved on. And he had like all that weight of their expectations on his shoulders, and they so beautifully, artistically nailed that. And now that I remember, and suddenly it dawns on me, that's right, that was Shaft. God, Shaft used to be so good. Shaft used to be such a good studio. I miss Shaft. Rip Shaft. I don't know. Yeah, I forgot too. I forgot too, and now it suddenly hurts. There's this realization point where like I'm going, oh, that's right. If I had zero hope for another season of March Comes On Like a Lion, I've lost all of it at that point. Like if I had a shred in there, it's gone. Because Shaft's not doing too good. I don't know. Maybe the Monoka movie will be that free money they're hoping it'll be. They're like they're literally dragging General Bucci back in, going, please, we gotta have something to keep us working. And that's their literally that's their emergency button. Let's make another Madoka. It's gonna be a massive failure. I just know it. Anyways, hopefully somebody else picks it up. There's a lot of up and coming studios that are doing fantastic jobs. Maybe Cloverworks or somebody can pick it up and do it, but it still deserves more seasons. I really love it. So yeah, have Madhouse do it. Madhouse would do a good job, I guess. Coping for season 2 of No Gun in Life. It's not gonna happen. We've talked about this. We've already talked about this several times. It's not gonna happen. Mob Psycho 100, another one of those shows which I think is really cool, but at the same time, it just has never really worked for me personally. I like Reagan a lot, but it's not a personal favorite, and I hate that I don't like it as much as other people do. But I'm glad people love it. I've only watched season 1 of Mob Psycho 100, and since season 2 never aired on Toonami, season 1 was good, but nothing amazing. Season 2 was really good. If you can ever get a chance to watch it, I recommend season 2. I do believe the last season, season 3, was a great wrap-up. It was a really nice tie-in to itself, but I just never connected to Mob, and I've never been a huge fan of the mangaka, but I do like that people love it. So when I see it, I just disagree. Silent Voice is S tier, but again, this is your list, man. People are really mad that it's an A. People are really mad that's an A. I'm surprised that Silent Voice is the only one that I'm getting crap about. Of everything that I put in this list, Silent Voice is the only one making people mad. But that's good though. I think it's S tier too. I'm fighting with not flooding my S tier. It's literally like here. So the Monogatari series, it's incredible. Just everything about it. There's only one arc I didn't like. Like, to have a series that long and only have one arc, and again, damn, it was Shaft. That scares me. To go that long and have only one arc I didn't like, which is Hana Monogatari, is saying something. I love the chemistry. I love the character writing. I love the villain characters. I love the twistedness of it. I love a lot of the artistry they put into it. Just through and through, it's a fantastic series. So, and the movie was nuts. And I even read the book too. Not the full series. I read Keys of Monogatari, or at least listened to it. Never watched it. It's an investment. It's an investment. I thought Your Lie in April would be controversial. I thought so too. Like I said, a Silent Voice being A is what's causing problems, not that. But again, I think most people that are in the chat, they know my feelings of Your Lie in April. People were literally saying create a trash category for it already. Like, people knew where I was gonna put it. It's a one-of-a-kind series, yeah. I think Shaft is going to get shafted. It's already shafted. Monogatari is so weird. There's a series is not made for everyone. It got many questionable moments, but it's still amazing when the moments hits you. Nisei and Bake are wonderful, emotional moments and amazing. Yeah. God, what the hell was his name? The con artist guy. Like, I was surprised how much I love that dude. Like, he's so good at writing villains, which really upset me when it came to Pretty Boy Detective Club. When I seen, is it Kaiki? I think that sounds right. When they did Pretty Boy Detective Club, I was excited for that series until I realized it was only going to be one season, because Nisei Oisin is good at writing villains, but the first season, all it did was introduce the villains. It never got a chance to do anything with them. And that's what sucks, because I was already getting really excited about what they were going to do with those characters. He's so good at writing characters. There's been discussion about Ai and Shinjagahara, and I'm just ignoring it. Just join. What is your reason for FMA to A? I have mentioned several times that I think it's a perfect show. 10 out of 10. It's just not a favorite. It's just not a favorite of mine. I think it's an incredible series. Unless you're upset that it's too high. I guess that could be it too. Moving on. Still not watched Monster. I really need to watch it. I know it's in the pile of shame. I will watch it eventually. It just finally got licensed by somebody. It's been unlicensed for a long time, and for a long time I was trying to be a purist, licensed purist. I've not been that lately, and I probably should have jumped on it the moment I was not a licensed purist. But yeah, Netflix picked it up, surprisingly. I think the only reason they were able to pull that off is because there was a TV broadcast company that they made a deal with that had some sort of connection with Monster, which any other way of getting it would probably have been impossible, as noted by Sean Kleckner of Right Stuff. So good on Netflix. Yeah, it's like with the moment it hit Netflix, I was like, what? Really? Okay, cool. I gotta watch it. And then literally winter and stuff happens, and it's like, damn, I have no time to do anything. I have priorities. For those who don't know, I have a priority list of things that I do every week. And trying to get any space to do other stuff like watch Monster is increasingly difficult. Because like it's always, priority list right now is for what I do. Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation, Mushoku Mondays. That's priority number one. That has to be done every week. I cannot not do that. Second priority is pretty much covering big news. Even though sometimes that doesn't really do well, it does do well most of the time. Third priority is covering certain shows that I really, really enjoy, like Heavenly Delusion, Oshinoko, Gundam. Those shows is as a high priority. And then after that, it's pretty much keeping up with the season. And then there's my free time. And there's nothing there. Dangers in My Heart's kind of an off and on, but yeah, it's kind of turning into one of those series that I might start covering it weekly, because every episode is hitting now, and it's great. Anyways. Good segue to the next show. Yeah, Mushoku Tensei was not completely not planned. Who brought up that subject? Just get more free time, bro. Andrew has his own trash taste podcast named Mushoku Monday, but it's actually good. I actually thought about making a separate feed and putting the audio only of Mushoku Mondays on it. Would anybody be I wonder if anybody would be actually interested in that. I would want to put a time exclusivity on the YouTube channel. I did drop the first episode of Mushoku Mondays on the podcast feed at some point just to fill things out. But I didn't really get any feedback on it. So I figured it'd be fine to put that on there because it was not after season 1, so most of the time I can only listen to the audio only. Like I said, I don't think that I would put them up there immediately because I do want to give some traffic to the YouTube channel first, but I think it'd be an interesting thing to kind of give it a second wind. I don't really do too much visual on the Mushoku Mondays. I mean, there is visuals I try to put up there, but besides maybe the whole, the map thing that I was going over at some point, I don't think it really needs it. I really want to be part of the Jobless Reincarnation Monday, but I don't want to get any spoilers for upcoming seasons. Yeah, you don't want to... Currently, you could go back and watch them all, Tana. I'm not sure if you've watched the previous ones, but you can watch all the way up to Volume 6. The Mushoku Mondays all the way up to Volume 6, you can watch those. It's just 7 and onward. That's when you're getting into the second season, so... I mean, am I only for Mushoku Tensei? Sorry, man. I don't do podcasts that much. I do enjoy editing on your Mushoku Mondays videos. You do enjoy the editing on it. I was like, well, you're not editing my stuff. But yeah, up to Volume 6 is Season 1. And there's a lot of really good stuff in there that's not included, which is great. Anyways, Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation, I just accidentally grabbed and right-clicked. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Yeah, finger guns. Hey, Rudius, finger guns. Smile, Rudius. I love Buddy Gotti. I love my Buddy Gotti voice. I don't know why, I just love my Buddy Gotti voice. Hey, Rudius. So, what are we celebrating? He's so great. Anyways, Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation, love it to death. I'm still, now that I've read the novel, I'm still sad they skipped a couple things, but I really love it. I really, really love the original season. It's the whole reason I got into Mushoku Tensei, the novel series, and why I've loved covering the series as much as I have. I think the fandom around Mushoku Tensei itself is super good. There's something to be said about a series that you can get into, really enjoy, and people are actually respectful about spoilers for the most part. There are some bad apples here and there, but damn, compared to most other fandoms, the Mushoku Tensei fandom has been great. So yeah, sure. Are you saying that bad spoiler people? Adrian's the one that, I mean, yes, technically Earthly does mod our comments a lot, so he might have a different perspective, but I've dealt with worse elsewhere, in my opinion. At least I'm mostly kind of perspective of chat because I don't like to check the comments without somebody checking it first. But no, I love it. I think it's an uncomfortable truths type of story. It's somebody that's at his worst and is a filthy human being suddenly regaining purpose, which I think is fantastic. The characters are phenomenal. No characters wasted. No story is wasted. Everything is so beautifully crafted and put together. Refugin is scary how into details he is. Yeah, it's a great series. Love it to death. Your Mushoku Tensei playlist starts with the latest video. I wasn't sure it plays the other direction, or does it play forward? So it plays from the end to the first. I have to swap it. There's a button that I can hit that swaps it. What do you think of anime visual of Body Gotti? Oh, Body Gotti. Body Gotti. He looks great. I want to see him in motion. We didn't get the finger gun scene, so I'm hoping at some point they just throw a finger gun scene in there, because I love the finger gun scene. Just don't talk about just. Okay, Earthly. Paige. Now the same. Paige is now. I'm on the same page. I now smell what you're stepping in. It just came through the monitor. Yeah, there is a group of people that I don't like in the Mushoku crowd. I will admit. There is a crowd that I don't like. So we'll move on. Mushishi. I love Mushishi so freaking much. I love Mushishi so much. Earthly, same page. Celebrate the first super chat from Earthly, apparently, is what I'm supposed to do. Google just told me that. I don't know why Google said that I have to celebrate it. But thanks, Earthly, for the 10 bucks. I appreciate it. It means a lot, dude. Yeah, typically me and Earthly are on the same page, different books. But when it comes to that particular subject, same page. Same page. Celebrating by putting Mushoku in S tier. What, you didn't want it in A tier? It's not too much? Mushishi don't know about it? Can you explain? Okay, Mushishi is about a guy named Ginkgo, who is a specialist in dealing with these creatures known as Mushi, which are... Yeah, it's not Mushoko, it's Mushishi. Which are pretty much like... They're like spirit creatures. They're actual creatures, but they're almost ethereal in a lot of regards. There are different styles of them, that they're these creatures, these unknown beings. And most people can't see them, but they affect people around them. So what happens is Ginkgo will go to a town and somebody will say, my son is getting sick and we don't know what's causing it. And he'll go in there and he'll discover that there is a Mushi in the room that is causing him to get ill. And he'll tip, what's really cool about the series, and this is the big hook that I've always loved about it. He doesn't typically fix the issue. He tells them how to remedy it. And in most cases, the people decide how they want to handle it, or even if they will handle it. So there's a little bit of hands-on about it, and that does lead into some really good stuff. But yeah, I love it. I really love it. They're really cool stories. Like there was the one where the kid disappeared for a long time, and there was a swap that happened. It was a really cool story. Like, it was almost like a bittersweet story, but I love it. Really cool, very atmospheric too. Those first animes I ever described as art, it has definitely got a lot of, like, fantastic art in it. Think about Mononoke, but slice of life. I have not watched Mononoke yet, and I really do. Mononoke? Is the other one called Mononoke? I thought it was Mononoke. Not Mononoke, Bakemonogatari. Yeah, it's Mononoke. Is it Mononoke or is it Mononoke? I don't know. It's probably Mononoke. Natsume's Book of Friends is pretty much right there with Mushishi. It's super good. It is one of my favorite animes of all time. It can be described as episodic, but it's not really, because in often cases, a lot of the seasons will have a through line story that they're kind of progressing, or they're developing certain characters. But damn, like, we're what, 5 seasons into it, and the stories are still good. Like, the stories are still so good. Is the one where the kid is a main plot point the Mononoke or Mushishi? I haven't watched Mushishi, but I have watched Natsume's Book of Friends. Hope you liked it. One time I found 2 volumes of Mushishi manga in English. They're my treasures. I really did want to get the manga series. But no, Natsume's Book of Friends is really good, though. I think there is a desire that I want for them to eventually kind of wrap up the story, but obviously it's a very successful franchise, and I don't even know if the manga is even done yet. It's probably still going. But again, like I said, every season is really great. I love the stories. The stories are mostly the focus of why I like it so much, but yeah. One Piece, haven't watched it. Will eventually watch it. Hats off to everybody that has watched all of One Piece. You have endured, and you deserve it. One Piece is one of those shows where I really just wish I started watching it when it first started. Like, why could I have not kept up with that one and not have to look at this big, massive train that is One Piece, and wish that I had jumped into it at some point? It's a B, anime-wise. I think if I ever do finally get into One Piece, I will probably do the manga. Because I don't think I want to go through the anime. I think I want to do the manga and just burn through it. Now I am back at the topic. You did enjoy Natsume's Book of Friends, but it can get boring at times. Yeah, it's got slow points for sure. Oshinoko is better FMA. It is Oshinoko, and so far. Okay, let me preface this because obviously this show is still going. Is this the only show that's technically still going? I mean, technically we have a second season of Ranking of Kings and Vinland Saga. But like a first season. Yeah, it's like the only one that's just the first season. Don't read the manga and then go watch clips of the cool from the manga. That was pretty much what a lot of people were saying to get caught up on Bleach. Like when Bleach was coming back, everybody was saying, go read the manga and then watch the cool fight scenes. And that's pretty much what I did. Solid A-tier anime so far. What's that's the thing so far about Oshinoko. I'm going to present Oshinoko. I think the best way that I can handle this is what Oshinoko is for what it is now. So let's like imagine that how good it's been so far is a representation of how the rest of the season will be. I don't want to put it in S because I just don't think it's going to be an S rank show. But at the same time, everything hits for it. I don't have any... That's the only problem is I don't have any faults with Oshinoko. Like, do people have faults with this to not say it's an S? I mean, I want to put it in A because there's a good chance it's probably not going to be a 10 out of 10 show in the end. There could still be points where it falls apart. But it hasn't shown any signs so far that it's going to be bad. Only fault is a recap this week. Yeah. It is unfinished, and that's my only fear is that it's going to fall apart for me after this. But everybody said that it fall... To be fair, it's not good anymore. And I understand why they probably think that, but I didn't agree with it. It's still been, like, hitting so good. Like, every week it's been hitting. Too much exposition in Oshinoko. It's following the manga really well. It looks beautiful. I mean, there was only one shot that I didn't like. I'll put it in A for now, but yeah, there's a good chance it's probably going to end up in S. If it, like I said, if it keeps to this, it's probably going to end up in S. Like right now, if this last episode was a wrap up of the story, I'd probably give it a 10. Because like every episode I've been loving. I will say probably was it episode 2 or 3? The introduction of the school was a fail. Like I just didn't like the whole let's go to school. Let's introduce everybody in the school. We're hanging out in school. That was a little boring. So I'm happy they didn't focus on the school stuff because it was gonna really ruin it really quick. I was like, I don't care about the school. Yes, and the snake eyes. Yes, and the Mark Zuckerberg lizard person snake eyes kind of creeped the hell out of me. She is the green Pokemon for Ruby and Kana and everybody being the Pokemons. And, yeah. It stabs deep. Ping Pong the Animation, have not watched it. I have watched Ping Pong Club, which is a really great series, but I have not watched Ping Pong the Animation. Earthly. I'm not a fan of Silent Sorrow, and I have to admit that when I first seen the PVs for this, I was like, ugh, I don't like this style. But I did hear nothing but good things about it, and I probably will eventually watch it. But no, I think the only thing Silent Sorrow that I've actually thoroughly enjoyed was Hike Story. Hike Story, I think, is that the only Silent Sorrow show that I actually like? Has anybody heard me say anything positive about anything else they've done? Science Sorrow, MyAnimeList's. Oh, there's a million shows that I think should be on this list, Tana. There's a lot of shows in this list. I could probably go over them in a minute. Tokyo Sinks 2020 started good, but then it fell apart. I never liked Izuken. I know a lot of people love that. Didn't like Devilman Crybaby. I have not watched Time Machine Blues, admittedly. What else? I hated Yuri Deco. So the only thing that I haven't really watched of theirs is Time Machine Blues, and I'm sure I'll like that one. Yeah, I'm just not a fan of them. Just not a fan of them. That's your only flaw, not liking Sonnet Sato. So I got a lot of good things going for me. I just fail one. Yeah. You know, think of it this way. The best anime waifus always have one flaw. Typically is that you can't cook. My one flaw is that I don't like Science Saru. I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. I have a good track record. There's only one negative. Didn't know Zoken was Science Saru? Yeah. Alright, Rank of the Kings. I don't want to put it in S, but I really, really like Rank of the Kings. I really, really like it. I have to admit, big admittance time. Yes, I am an anime girl. Anyways, Rank of the Kings. I was thinking of a joke there, and I decided not to. Rank of the Kings is one of those shows where I didn't realize how much I'm angry until I watched the second season. Because now I'm seeing all... As I was watching this new season, The Treasure Chest of Courage, suddenly everything makes sense. Everything that I was angry about and when the series aired suddenly makes sense. Like, this recent episode, they finally revealed what Beben did, why Beben was helping out Kage. We finally find out who the hell Anna is, because she showed up out of nowhere, you know, escorting Healing back to the castle. There's so much of like, oh, that's what happened. And we finally got Oaken's story, which I was like, I was literally angry that we didn't get more of Oaken in the original series. So there is a side of me that's a little bit miffed of how they're adapting this. It doesn't make the first season bad. I still think it's fantastic. But every point where I was going, wait, why this? Is suddenly answered because I find out that they skipped it. Yeah, I can always go VTuber. But I'm sick of VTuber, so I refuse to do VTuber. But maybe as the AI gets better, I might. Now I have to worry about getting my hair right and putting on this Hawaiian shirt because I'm so stylish. It would be nice. I could just do it in a tank top. Second half of Rank of the Kings was okay for me, but not fantastic. There was certain aspects of how it ended that I wasn't a big fan of, but I just overall I really enjoyed it. Fiend Healer did best. Healing was amazing. I think Healing was my favorite character. Rank of the Kings is a masterclass of storytelling. Yeah, and there was so much in like the whole Rank of the Kings system itself that I was theorizing as the show aired that I hope that eventually I get answered. It was good. It's good. Showa, Genroku, Rakugo, Shinju. Thanks, Slayer, for putting it in the chat so people know how it's spelt so they can go look it up. It is literally one of my... I think it's in my top 5 favorite anime of all time. It is a masterpiece. Slayer says, Showa Genroku Raku Shinju was the most boring anime I have watched. I gave season 1 a 2 out of 10 and season 2 a 3 out of 10. And I'm not sure why I even watched season 2 since season 1 was so boring. To each their own. No shade against you. To each their own. I don't get why people are frustrated with the ending. I think it was well-deserved ending. I'm not frustrated with it. Maybe I said that, but there was certain aspects of it that didn't work. It was a great show, definitely. Yeah, somebody on the Discord, I forget who it was, recently chimed in and said they finally watched it after recommendation and they really loved it. It's always one of those ones where I'm reading it and I'm going, oh crap, hopefully they liked it. And then they said they really loved it. I'm like, yes, thank you. Petro, Hawaiian shirt Andrew is the man. All right, Petro, thank you so much for the $10, man. I appreciate the support, man. It really means a lot to me. Hope you're doing well. Not frustrated, just thought it was all right. Slayer's thought meant that you were your only flaw. That meant that your only flaw. You have to have a flaw. Everybody in the chat and me has to have one flaw. As long as you don't have two flaws. Yeah, Petro, did you finish Iron Blooded Orphans yet? I also watched because your recommendation. Yeah, I'm happy that I'm always happy when a suggestion works out. Hopefully I didn't hopefully Slayers didn't watch it because I recommended it, because then I failed somebody. I have 3 flaws. Earthly, that's 3 strikes. You're out. It's over. All right, I'm guessing, yeah, this is Slam Dunk. I haven't watched Slam Dunk. I don't think I'll ever probably watch Slam Dunk, which might make some people upset. I just don't, nothing about Slam Dunk looks like it's going to work for me. Three episodes into the 2nd season. Oh, you're almost to the part where everything starts getting really crappy. You're almost to the part where everything becomes super depressing. Enjoy every minute of it. God, dude. Iron Blooded Orphans towards the later part was just gut punching in a good way. Like, damn. You always floss someone on the internet. Of course. Because the internet is just full of opinions. The manga is really good for me, but I'm a huge sports person, so I might check out the manga. I think the manga might work. I fear for the last of the list. Yeah, watch Rockabilly. Yeah, I was going to say that, but I chose not to. But thanks for saying it for me, Master Kuja. I'm not big on sports series. I enjoy playing sports. Watching sports is boring. It works sometimes. For the most, I agree with you in the idea that most of the time, sports shows doesn't work for me. I typically need to have a reason for caring about who's in the sport. I think it's similar to real life. Like, if you know somebody that's a sports player, you want to support them. You want to go out there and you root for them, and you're excited when they win. In anime, I have to like the characters, and I have to like what they're going through in order to even care if they're winning or losing. So that's really where the struggle where I get most. And there's a lot of series that work for me. Remain here recently, Big Wind Up, Run with the Wind. Even though people believe I hate sports anime, there's a lot of sports animes that I really enjoy. Yeah, your job wasn't sports. And you're not sick of it. That's a good thing. Yes, Aoashi is really good, Random. That's very true. Aoashi was really, really good. Like, we need another season so bad because of where that left off at. I need another season bad. If there was a D, I would put it in D. I loved the first core of Spy X Family. Really did. Second core just didn't work. Buddy Daddies was better than the second core of Spy Family. I know that's a hot take, but Earthly will stand by me on that one. I think Earthly said that at some point. I'm like, I kind of agree with you. At least with the second core. Like, the first core, no. But the second core, Buddy Daddies did so much better. Because all the characters do stuff. Spy Family has a big issue. And it's their best character being so unutilized. Yeah, Yori has been such a wasted potential. I still love Anya. Now Anya has a trusty steed. That's great. But Yor's boring. And they're doing nothing with her. And then they introduce new characters. And I don't care. I hope it gets better. When's the movie coming out? Isn't the movie coming out here soon? Yor just needs to do something. Like, I don't think she doesn't have to kill anybody, but at least show her do stuff. Besides panic because Anya disappeared. Like, she's the worst assassin because Anya always gets away from her. Like this girl should have a beat on Anya at all points. They will next season. I've been hearing that for the last core. Everybody's like, just wait. Just wait. Just wait. Just wait. Yor's moment's coming. You want more Yor? Right around the corner. Just wait. I swear if the next season has no Yor in it doing cool stuff, I'm gonna call you out on that one. I wrote down the name. Yeah, season 3, I swear. No, the 15th movie. Anyways, I'm mostly jesting. It's because it will hit R, that's why. We'll see. Don't hype it up. Don't hype it up. Anyways, Steins Gate. Yeah, I almost wonder if they'll cut it. We'll see. It's not going in S. I'm gonna say that before I finish thinking. It's not going in S. But I will explain why. And I'm only gonna do based on the movie. I'm gonna act as if Zero does not exist. If I put Zero in with this, it's going down low. No doubt. I did not like Zero at all. I'm gonna just go based on Steins Gate. Just the OG Steins Gate. I don't like the first half. I had to watch the show, what was it, 3 times? I think it took me 3 times to finally get past the first half. I did not like the goofy shenanigans, slice of life elements of the show. I know it has purpose because you have to get to know the characters and to care for the characters, but it's just the chemistry and the writing of the character interactions was blah for me. It did not work. It isn't until things start to get crazy and crap hits the fan that finally the show gets good for me. And yes, the moment that hits, it doesn't let go. And that's why I love Steins Gate. But I can't ignore the fact that the first half of the show's just blah for me. So yeah, I tried it a couple times, and then at some point, I think Chris ended up finishing it. And he's like, holy crap, Andrew, you gotta watch this show. So I'm like, okay, I'll try again. Yes, this was back when Chris actually used to watch, like, violent shows. And this is probably the show that probably broke him. I have to go back and check, like, I'm gonna have to, like, listen to a whole bunch of different podcast episodes to find that point in which Chris just kind of click. Like, at some point, this big, massive switch comes down on Chris, and suddenly he hates all violent shows. And I think, a side of me wants to think it was Steins Gate. Steins Gate probably broke him. People don't like suffering, but like ReZero. Probably because they don't like Subaru. And probably because they don't like Subaru, so watching Subaru suffer is fine. I don't know. Steins Gate inspired me to follow my dreams and microwave a banana. Did it work, though? Did it work, though? Zero is better than the OG? Really? Interesting take. Akabe is Avatar. Love the show, but yeah, second season was meh. Second season? Zero? Am I getting mixed up here? There's 2 cores for the first season and that was Zero, right? There was nothing else that I'm forgetting. Zero is good, not better in my opinion. Because it's Lolly is better than Kirisu. Oh, we're talking about ReZero. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. Anyways. What platform is Steins Gate on? It was on Funimation, wasn't it? Which platform is Steins Gate on? Does anybody know off the top of their heads? I almost want to find out the exact episode things start to take off for me. Funimation and Hulu. It's not over on Crunchyroll yet. Oh, it says Crunchyroll right here. Okay, good. All right, good. It's on Crunchyroll. It's literally the turn of the core. I thought I was just simplifying it in my head. It's literally almost the changeover of the core. When they go into the second core, that's when things get all nuts. And it like I said, it literally was like that in my head. I'm gonna put it in B. I think I'm gonna put it in B. Like I said, I can't get over how much that first half I hate. So I'm gonna put it in B. Definitely not any lower than that, because I think the second half is just so freaking good. The second half is so freaking good. I guess I never thought about it. 2 cores. I watched it all once. Just blitzed through it. Blitzed through it. And then the last time I did watch it, I watched it all the way through. Like, I could not stop watching. After that first core, it was literally a binge. Like, I think I just stayed up all night. Tsunami Galaxy I've not watched. I mentioned that earlier. It's one of those shame shows. I'll eventually watch it. I'm just not a huge fan of Science Saro, so that kind of makes me just put it off to the side burner. It was! Bungo is in the top list, wasn't it? I want to say that I've seen Bungo. Why is it not in this list? I must have accidentally deleted it. If it is, I want to put it in the list. Because I love Bungo. No. Let's see if it's in the 50s. It's not? I could have swore I seen it. Maybe it's in the manga list or the popular list. That might be what it was. I could have swore I seen it though. If it was in this list, it would probably be an A, possibly S. I really love Bungo. Oh no, there's 2 strikes for Slayer. I have 2 things that that I like that Slayer doesn't like. So I'm now at 2 strikes for Slayer. I remember us going through the list one night. Bungo was the only one in the top 100 I hadn't finished yet. I swear I seen it. I kid you not, I swear I seen it. For me, Violet Evergarden is an S for me. The visuals and slow progression, which many most don't like, and it's just beautiful. Okay, I was looking for the last part of that, and it's just beautiful. I stopped Bungo Stray Dogs at 3rd season. I haven't had the drive to go back. Tungsten, if you like the 2nd season, and if you like the 2nd season, or if because the reason you dropped it is because of the 3rd season, give it another shot. Get to the later part of season 3, and it should pick up. I didn't like the beginning parts of season 3. I loved season 2, didn't like the beginning parts of season 3. The ending of season 3 is fantastic, but season 4 is freaking insane. Season 4 just takes off, and it doesn't let go, and I desperately need the next season to come up in summer. Violet Evergarden's S tier for me. The series is so powerful, and visually it's breathtakingly beautiful. Yeah, it's super, super breathtaking. I'm reading light novel Mushoku 7. Is Soldat Heckler cool? Yes, he's not as cool as many other bros, but he's great. It took a while, and I knew Soldat would be cool, but I don't want to talk any more than that, and I don't want to spoil the anime onlys. We have some anime onlys in the chat. I don't want to spoil things. Vinland Saga. B. I think I'm gonna go B. Where'd it go? B. I'm gonna go B. But you do you. Vinland Saga, I think, is beautiful, and it has a great through line. I just wasn't a huge fan of half of the first season. Like, his whole, like, whiny boy routine. The ending of the first season was super good. And the second season has been sort of not good pacing for me. And they're dragging out a lot of the scenes. But I think the story is good. It just feels like they're dragging it out. I'm hoping that this season will kind of cap things off really good. Vinland Sleep Arc. I mean, it's a good story, and it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I just think, like, adapting-wise, they're dragging it out. Like, I feel like this season could be so much faster and so much better if they slowed it down. Or not slowed it down, but if they did, like, maybe it's only 14 episodes worth of content. Maybe 15 episodes worth of content. If they cut it down to 15 episodes, I think it would be a perfect season. It's just they're dragging out the scenes so bad. And I even looked at the manga, and there's literally scenes they're adding in the anime just to drag it out. Like, there's this whole segment where the girl is riding off with the guy in the carriage. Like, everything beyond them, like, in that later part of that segment is completely anime original. They're literally dragging it out. Anyways, I've talked about that to death. I think I talked about it last live stream. Last one. Violet Evergarden. And I think literally every season, I think all of Violet Evergarden's in the MyAnimeList list. So this is season 1, the OVA, and the movie. Those 2 OVAs, right? Maybe there was only 1 OVA in there. But pretty much everything Violet Evergarden's in the MAL, which is good. Because if, for those who don't remember, people were crapping on the show before it even got global release, and it scared me. And then when I watched it, I loved it. There was maybe 2 stories I didn't like, but I think everything else I loved. And yeah, by far visually, it's fantastic. And I did love the movie. The movie was really good. And they did a good job of wrapping it up with the movie, because I wasn't really sure how well they would wrap things up. Episode 10 will always be my top 10 best single episodes. Was that the letters? Never finished it because it got me bored. 2 movies. Oh, that's right. The stage play. That wasn't an OVA. That was a movie, right? I was thinking that was an OVA. Yeah, the other one's super good. And I love how they tied that in with the movie. So loved how they tied that into the movie. My favorite Kyoto animations, very, very emotional, heart melting, and cried a lot, and it's amazing. Regarding what you said about you could hate every one of my favorites, and I still respect your opinions. Respecting other opinions is important. Thank you so much, Slayer. I wish there was more people like you. Thank you, Slayer, for being the way you are, because we need more people like that. Some people just don't like other people with varying opinions. But like I said, I always try to focus on not bashing, but just kind of explaining my reasoning and moving on. Except for Cheat Skill. I will make a whole video bashing Cheat Skill. But I'll have fun doing it. It's a joke. That's a joke. Movie was a good wrap-up, yeah. Episode 1 premiere at AX in 2018. Yeah, I had a very early premiere. But my point was that I think it released in Europe and Japan, but not in the US. And so a lot of people were reporting that they didn't like it. And I was getting very scared. But, like I said, it turned out to be fantastic, so... Now, the only reason I think that was happening is because I do remember one of the early episodes not being that good. It was the one where they went to that one girl's town and it was out in the sticks. I don't think I liked that episode, and that was an early episode, but everything after that was fantastic. I don't even remember Cheat Skill. That's a good thing. And it's kind of... Cheat Skill from this season, if you're not sure, or if you just completely let it, like, wiped it from your mind so that you don't remember it because it's that not good. I still accept your opinion, even though it doesn't stop me from trying to argument, though. No, yeah, I mean, I'm always open to listen to opinions. Actually, I'm more open for people to say what they love about things, and I go, cool. Like, I like that you like that. It happens with comedies all the time. Some people say, no, I laugh my butt off at Fruit of Evolution, and I'm like, cool. I'm glad you like it. I'm glad to hear what people like about stuff. I'm of the opinion that I want, like Science Sorrow. I'm not a big fan of Science Sorrow, but I'm glad people like their stuff. Things need to exist that aren't for me. That's the important thing. Because I don't want a bunch of people talking to me that just agree with everything I say. That's not fun or interesting. So talk about that trash show. Let's move on. We're talking about the top 100. Dude, if... Could you imagine Cheat Skill suddenly appears in there? Like, it's just, like, creeps up into 100 list in Mal. We gotta do that. We'll all get together and we'll push Cheat Skill to get to the top 100 anime of all time. Oh, it'd be great. Cheat Skill is my guilty pleasure show. Yeah, I mean, that's similar to Farming Life. There was a lot of people that loved Farming Life, and I wasn't a huge fan of it. Yeah, if you... Cheat Skill, for what it's doing, it's fine. So... Don't do it. It's you. No vote brigading. I'm just kidding. I would never do that. Although the fact that Ascendance of Bookworm's not in the top 100 is a big heartbreak. We'll get into that in a minute. I want to go over what's not in the list that should be in there. But no, Violet Evergarden, I'm not gonna... I think I want to put it in S. It only has like one episode I didn't like. But then I feel bad about Silent Voice, because I feel like Silent Voice and Violet Evergarden are like right next to each other. Shoot, for whatever. They'll do it. Fine. There. Now, everybody that hit downvote on this video for a Silent Voice being an A, go back and fix it. I need to refill my drink. We're supposed to get a second season of Moonlight Fantasy if that ever happens. Okay. What's not in the list that should be in the list? Excuse me. Here. Because somebody asked that. Which is really easy to do. Now, I will be I'll try to be objective here. I'm gonna be very objective here because I could easily just say all of my 10 out of 10s need to be in the top 100 list. But I don't think that's being genuine. Because some things work for me that I fully expect doesn't work for other people. Is that popping up? I should have popped up, right? Yeah. Okay. Let me bring back up my chat. I need my chat back. Let me chat back. All right. So obviously this is my top anime of all time right here. I am actually very surprised. I'm sort of surprised that Bungo. I'm sort of surprised that. Dude, was Gits not in there? We didn't have Gits, did we? Oh my gosh, Ghost in the Shell's not in the top 100 anime of all time? Oh my gosh. Okay. Akira wasn't either. Akira wasn't either. Man. All right, this is gonna. Whoever asked me what I think should be in there, you suck, because now I'm suddenly realizing I'm going from okay, that's their opinion, bro, to suddenly what the hell's wrong with y'all? Oof. You know, it is interesting that Cyberpunk is in there, but Gits isn't. That's interesting. That is super interesting. Sergio, 1 month membership. Thanks so much for the support, man. I appreciate it. KyoAni for any win. Yeah, there you go. Every single KyoAni that's not in there is terrible. It's terrible that's not in there. Regency bias, but I mean, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood's been there forever, and it's never moving. What was the oldest one in the list? Evangelion's in there. I mean, we have, like, all these Ghibli films, like, Spirited Away and stuff. Cowboy Bebop's still in there. Berserk's still in there. Legends of Galactic Heroes, my gosh, brain fart. That's in there. So no, it's not Regency. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of older shows in there. Get's second season is 116, but what's the movie? Yeah, Fullmetal Alchemist Bros, keep it up in there. Sorry, Andrew, your cool cyborg bag Mikoto got replaced by a bad-mouthed short goblin cyborg. Don't be mean to Becca. Don't be mean to Becca. Anyways, that's painful. I think that's the most painful so far. Thank you for your videos, anime news reviews, impressions. These are really good. Love the content and really expect your opinions. I wish the channel grows more and more. Take care. Stay safe. Thank you so much, Tana. I appreciate the support and kind words. That kind of stuff that keeps it going. I really appreciate it. You mentioned a lot of shows which are still in error or have recent releases. Bebop gained rank due to live action hate. No, Bebop's always been in there. It may have gone up, I guess. But I think that's more probably a lot of people seeing the live action and said, and their friends said, let's just go watch. So they go in there and they're like, oh, let's check out the new live action. Hey, you never watch anime? Come in here and watch this with me. And they start watching it and they're like, let's just watch the anime. That's how they got more viewers. Yeah. Anyways. Other ones, let's see. Arya. Again, I'll be honest and stuff that I don't think is going to be more of a broader audience that it deserves to be in the list. I love Arya, but I don't think that Arya has a very broad appeal. So it makes sense that it's not in there. Bunny Drop, it should be, but it's very slice of life, and I think a lot of people are turned off by the manga. Let's be perfectly honest. I'm glad that show is in there. From the New World deserves to be in there, but I understand that a lot of people dropped off early on. Gatchaman Crowds, I would love that to be in there. It's super quirky, though, but it deserves to be in there. It's super good. I understand Golden Boy not being there. I think it deserves it, but Golden Boy is super raunchy and very adult humor. Grave of the Fireflies isn't in the list. Holy crap. I can see Kiki's Delivery Service not being on the list because it is much older. But Grave of the Fireflies, I mean, it's older too, but gosh, it's an iconic movie. That's crazy. Grave of the Fireflies is 120. I seem to remember it was in the 100 at some point, which makes sense because we've added about 20 shows here recently into the list. But that's the big problem, I think, with the top 100 list. I was almost planning on actually getting 100 series from the top list. Because, again, the top 100 list of MyAnimeList is getting filled with sequels because they don't bundle the scoring of the first season with the remaining seasons. So as people keep going, they're just rating up the sequels really high because nobody that hated the first season is continuing to watch it. So it's getting full of Gintamas. Like, I swear at some point, the entire Mal top 100 will be Gintama. Because I swear to you, they will not stop making Gintama. And there will be eventually 100 season of a Gintama, and it will fill up Mal. Mark my words. It will be Full Metal Alchemist and Gintama for the rest of the list. At some point, there was a bunch of JoJo's in there, if I remember correctly. And now I think there's only like 3 of them. But yeah, anyways. How about your favorite Iroha? I don't I don't believe Iroha for most people is an amazing show. It's just for me, personally, it's an amazing show because it personally worked for me. I fully acknowledge the flaws of Iroha. So I won't claim that Iroha should be in the 100. But it is literally my favorite anime of all time. Do you think about second season of Mushoku will be in the hundreds? I think, I believe wholeheartedly the second season will do much better than the first season. Because all the people that didn't like it because it's inappropriate will not, hopefully, will not be watching the second season. Yuki Yuna, no. As much as I love Yuki Yuna, it's not... Its second season sucks. Its later part of the second season and its third season sucks. I fully acknowledge that. As much as I love the first season, the rest of the series just was not a good adaptation. Which sucks because it could have been it could have been such a good series. We already got Monogatari series in there. We got Mushoku in there. Evangelion's in there. Noragami. I'm surprised Noragami's not in there. To the argument that somebody made the other day of broad appeal for male and female audiences, it's kind of surprising Noragami's not in there if that's the case. I would expect Aragoto to be in there at least. I think at some point it was. Yeah, I mean, I agree that the anime is nowhere near as good as the manga, but most people don't know that. And I thought the anime did really well when it came out. I mean, it was Madhouse and everything, right? Or was that Bones? Is it Bones or Madhouse? Yeah, no Perfect Blue in there. Oof. Oof. There was no Perfect Blue in there. Oof. Was there any Satoshi Kon? There was no Satoshi Kons in there. Big oof. Big oof. No Satoshi Kons in that entire 100 anime of all time. Oof. This is getting worse. The more we look at it, the worse. Should we stop now? Should we stop now? Yeah, not even Tokyo Godfather, which is literally like a staple in Christmas every year for anime fans, besides Toradora. Odd Taxi was in there. Onimai, I don't expect it to be in the list. Yeah, it's Satoshi Kon. That's a big oof. Doesn't surprise me. It sort of surprised me there was no ReZero. I was very surprised there's no ReZero in the list. Interesting. I don't expect Shirobako. Spice and Wolf, it's getting too old, but it should be in there. Eccentric Family should be in there. I truly honestly believe Eccentric Family, but I think that's an aspect that not many people watched it, and they should. Eccentric Family deserves attention. Yeah, Fate Zero wasn't in the top list. It was just Heaven's Feel. Heaven's Feel was the only one that was in the top 100. Yeah, No Ranma 1/2 makes sense because, again, it's so old. It predates Mal itself. I don't expect anything besides movies to be in the top list because it's just the new fandom, unfortunately. Yeah, there's a lot of recent shows in it, to the point that somebody made earlier about the recency bias. It's just new fans. Yes, I have Wonder Egg Priority at 10. We don't acknowledge because this doesn't include the extra. This is only 12 episodes. See, this is only 12 episodes. You see that? You see that? Wonder Egg Priority, 12 episodes. Perfect show. I love it. Yes, and Frill's episode was amazing. I don't care what people say. Frill's episode was amazing. Let's see. No, I don't expect Air. Place Further in the Universe? I thought it was in there at some point. It must have got bumped down too. Where's Place Further in the Universe? It's probably maybe 140 now, probably. Based on everything else we've kind of listed. Yes, very biased to newcomers to anime, of course. That's why every time you look at a seasonal list, it's just nothing but like the big epic shonens that are getting 1 million views. Everything else is like 30,000. I state that later episode of the 13th episode, I'm guessing, made the first 12 episodes worse. I just ignore that it exists. That's how it works. But even to this day, Ramen 1/2 is by far the best comedy ever made. I really love it. I kind of wanted to get the Blu-rays to rewatch it, but yeah, Bookworm should be in the list. Where's Bookworm at? At least the 3rd season. Place further than Universe 117. It's actually better than I thought it was going to be at. Because, like I said, I remember seeing it in the top 100 at some point. Astro Lost in Space was really good. I know that some people didn't like it. I really liked it. Surprised Baccano is not in the list. That had to have been bumped as well, because I seem to remember that one being in the list as well. That's sad. Baccano used to be, like, if somebody asked what to watch, everybody said Baccano at some point. Bookworm Season 3 is in the 400s. Just... I quit anime. I just quit anime. I'm just gonna quit. I'm gonna quit anime altogether. The fandom sucks. Ascendance of Bookworms in the 400s. People just don't know. Anyways. It hurts. That's fine. I keep saying I'm going to do this. I'm eventually going to make a video where I'm kind of happy when things aren't popular. I'm happy when certain things aren't popular, and I'm happy when anime isn't popular. Because it just means more for me, and I don't have to worry about people complaining about it. Beastars, I kind of think should have been in the list. I don't expect it, though. Let's see. Death Parade deserves to be in there, but I know that the later parts of Death Parade kind of sucks. But Death Billiard should be well rated. Eden the East is kind of maybe, but it's weird. Also, the Rama movies were also pretty good. I don't remember if I watched the movies or not. It's been so long. Yeah, Bookworm does get enough attention for it matters. And like I said, I kind of like it being not huge. There's times where I don't want things to be huge. Yeah, Death Parade, I think... Death Parade, like I said, is just a single episode made for like the Project Mirai or whatever. Kind of like the Little Witch Academia. And it was a very good self-encompassing story. I do agree that Death Parade as a anime... the later part was kind of like, you probably shouldn't have done that. Just stick with what you're doing here. This is what you're doing good. I didn't like that later story part. But it's still super good. I loved each of those little stories. What else? Grimgar, I don't expect it. Gunslinger Girl would have been nice. Haibane Renmei. Haibane Renmei. Again, it's older. But damn, that should be in the top list. Banger of OP, I thought. Grimgar? Yeah. Or Death Parade. Death Parade, both of them are good. Both of them are fantastic. No Name did the one for Grimgar, and Death Parade was... God, what was it called? What's... It's like literally right here. Like I can feel the band for the OP for Death Parade. They did like the one for Dance in the Ballroom and stuff like that. Haibane Renmei is 617. Oh gosh, dude. This sucks. Whoever suggested doing this sucks. Hinamatsuri I don't expect, but I love it. Interview I don't expect. K-On! No K-On? No K-On. Yeah, everybody. If you're curious, cheat skill is 5,145. It must be rated around there with the adult stuff. K-On got replaced by Bocchi. That's like a painful stab for all the debate of K-On versus Bocchi that happened while that was airing. K-On is 385. Literally, Mal has become just such a new fandom versus old fandom anymore. Like, it's just nothing but new fandom. Ouch. Ouch. Kageki Shoujo, I don't expect it. This is so painful. Why are we doing this? I'm just gonna go through my 9s and I'm gonna be done. Kino's Journey, no Kino's Journey, which is literally a crime. Konosuba. I didn't see any Konosuba either. That's crazy. Konosuba and Much just got bumped into below 100. Probably 125, I would guess. I'm just gonna throw a number out there. Konosuba is probably about 125. That's crazy. So I seem to remember Konosuba in there as well. Looks Kagenato. No Little Witch Academia. No, I don't care about Konosuba second season. I'm talking about the first season. That's the only one that I'm complaining about. Yeah, and see, the second season will be higher. So, the first season is worse than 272. Ouch. Ouch. But no, Little Witch Academia does... That kind of sucks. Because that's technically, like, one of the greatest anime of all time. Like, for a broad audience. I'm not a huge... This actually should be a 10. I don't know why this is... Unless it's... Yeah, this should be a 10. I need to change that. I'm surprised Look at Sequel got bumped. Because Look at Sequel was actually in the top list for a while. No, it wasn't. No, I remember Look at Sequel got hit pretty hard early on. And it had to build itself back up. So that doesn't surprise me. Made in Abyss was in there. I think every season of Made in Abyss was in the Mal's top 100. Little Witch Academia is at 888. Whew. Oh my gosh. This is sucking more and more. I look at this. We need to stop. We need to stop. Iron Blood Orphans deserves to be in there. Doesn't surprise me though. There's a bunch of Natsume Book of Friend. We had Natsume Book of Friend in there. New game. Nichijou. Nichijou should have been in there. That sucks. Let's see. Oh, we didn't have Madoka Magica. We didn't... Madoka Magica wasn't in the list either. What was the highest Gundam? I would probably assume it's Witch of Mercury Season 1. It may be Gundam Origin. Your pain is making good entertainment. It's kind of like I'm gonna start playing a gacha game and rolling on the gacha so everybody can watch my pain. It's the same idea. July is extremely jacked with anime. It's scary but good. God, what else? So yeah, no Madoka Magica, which is super bad. Vanitas should be, but I know it's not that big. No Toradora. We need to hack... Lane needs to hack Mal again, right? Game Princess Connect Redive, a 9 out of 10. Dude, the first season was so good. It's literally Konosuba's first season. Same director and everything. It's super funny. Love the animation and the characters. Toradora not being up there is crazy. 86 was... Arknight should be, but I know I'm like the only outside the game super fan of Arknights, though I am starting to play the game. I don't expect Battle Angel to be in there. Blood Blockade Battlefront should be, because I would assume that had a broader fandom. I know it was really hype when it first came out. Now we're getting the 8s, so I'm not gonna go any further than that. Boogie Pop, yeah, the original Boogie Pop was super good. The new series was good too, but I don't think it was that popular. Princess Connect was 10 out of 10 show when it was not talking about plot. I mean, but Kyaru slash Peko later moments were good. Kekai Sensen is not for me. Yeah, but my point is more in the fact that, like, early on when it was first airing, there was a massive fandom for it. So it's kind of surprising that it wasn't bumped up higher. Highest ranked Gundam is Kido Senshi Gundam The Origin at 213. So I was right that it was Origin. But damn. But damn. Yes, Kato is best girl. Holy crap, dude. The highest ranked Gundam show is 213. All right, this stream went great because we started off by me having fun ranking the top 100 anime on Mal, and it turned into depressed thoughts of what is low ranked on Mal. Oh my gosh, dude. We need to do the 8s as well. Well, yeah, technically the 8s are like what a lot of people think are incredible shows. Yeah, great. Now I'm upset. Because my 8s are a lot of people's 10s, like Beck, Mongolian Chop Squad. My gosh, dude, I don't want to. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Beck should totally be up there. Beck's such a good show, dude. Gunsmith Cats, I don't expect. That's a personal favorite from me. It's an older show. Still mad K-on's not up there. Kimono Friends deserves it, but probably not. It was still bad looking. Gungrave Takes You Back. Brando no Hithu. Every time I think of Gungrave, all I could think of is Brando no Hithu. What was the other characters' names? That's the only one that always comes up in my head. Was it Brandon Heath? Like these really English names. Harry Makudweru. Big Daddy. Brandon Hito. Harry Makudaru. Oh, dude, the English in that was so good. Invaded was super good. I know, can anyone sell me on Gungrave? I don't know. Did you watch, like, a lot of the older, like, super violent types of shows? Later, Duhalt. Thanks for dropping by, man. It's like in that area of time of, like, Vampire Hunter D and stuff like that. It's just super revenge story, yeah. Dude totally gets screwed over, and he just goes crazy on everybody. It was good though. I enjoyed it. Dalhan, have a good night, man. Thanks for dropping by. I don't know. It's been a long time since I watched it, but I seem to remember being like, it was like just brutal, dark fun. Dude gets RoboCop. That's a good way of putting it. It's like the male version of the Japanese version of RoboCop, the female version being Marduk Scramble. Is that it? Do we need to continue this? Overlord. I'm surprised no Overlord in there, but sort of not surprised. Shadow House deserves to be, but I understand. Surprised girl. No, I'm not surprised. Girl Through Lifetime. That's again another older one. I think my mindset's kind of getting cleared up in the idea that it's so driven by the recent fans of anime that a lot of this stuff, when it gets beyond like 6 years, it doesn't surprise me anymore. But again, all the ones I'm listing is kind of deserving. So, all right, I'm not going into 7s. I'm not going into 7s. I'm done. I'm done. Horimiya was 341. That's shocking. There was a massive fandom around it. Yeah, surprised Zombieland Saga. Well, no, I guess I'm not really surprised Zombieland Saga. I know the people that watched it loved it, but it was also kind of obscure in a way. Yeah, damn. Angel Beats. Again, doesn't surprise me, but that kind of hurts. That kind of hurts. What else was I gonna do here? Let me pull this over here. Keep losing my windows here. Super Cub 1949. Ow. Stop. Stop, Earthly. Stop it. I mean, that goes back to the whole discussion that we keep having of, like, people talking about their what shows on Mal that you've watched that are, like, the lowest watched shows. And, like, those types of shows pop in my head, like Super Cub, which I think at the time when it first aired was, like, 60,000. I think I have that list up over here. Let me just pull that up. That'd be fun to look at. Come on. Come on. Function. Function screen. There we go. I technically made a full list of like a whole bunch of shows that are like super low rated. That I do a regular shows that you may have missed, which I need to do another one of because I haven't done one in a long time. But I think what was the Death Parade is 400. Stop. Stop. Stop it. Here it is. Let me bring this over here. Can we have a dark mode? Google Drive, can we have a dark mode, please? What was my lowest one? Oh, do not. Let me organize this. Sort by. Yeah, so my lowest one was Hagane Orchestra, which was 5,000 at the time that I put this list together. They Were 11 was 9,000, which that one doesn't surprise me too much because that's really old. High School Seha Girls was 10,000. What was another one that was bad? Himura Kusa did bad with 24,000 members on Mal. Love Alternative didn't really do that very well either, which was kind of surprising because I thought that had like a massive fandom behind it. Where's Tenchi Moyo? That's gonna be dead last. If anything, if the sad thing is that yeah, the GPX series will probably be one of the highest rated ones on Mal, and it's literally a series I didn't even give the time of day. Seiyu Life was low rated too, and that should have been done a lot better. Kageki Shoujo was bad too. At the time, it was like 50,000 viewers, and that was like literally one of my favorite shows that season. What's my most hated anime? Let's look at it. Oh, I moved it over here. Go back. Anime list. Here. Whoa, that's weird. Okay, there it goes. Sorry, every time I switch windows, I have to reset it because the OBS chat sucks. The OBS chat sucks. Where is... I do have a lot of stuff in my AnimeList that has not been rated, so keep that in mind. There's probably a lot of garbage that I have not rated. But I don't think I have that many ones. Where is the start of my list? There it is. Hold on. Stop. We just talked about that. The episode that does not exist. I wanted to make sure it was far down on my list as possible, so I hid it. I'm curious about Revue Starlight. It's the same theme as Kageki Shoujo. They're both technically Revue. Just Revue Starlight is just kind of more supernatural version, whereas Kageki Shoujo is slice of life drama. Nagisa, have a good night. Episode 13 is a myth. Yeah, The Boy and the Professional Wizard was Garbo. Silver Guardian was bad. Wake Up Girl's second season was super bad. I rated The Dog and the Boy as a 1 because they used AI, and I want to revolt against the system. Started to follow a couple months ago. Excited to finally be on live stream. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. I'm glad I can bring you some good content. Wish you got a second season of Promised Neverland. I wish that we got it. Okay, it took me a second to get what you're saying there, Slayer. Yeah, I really wish that we got that second season of Promised Neverland. I was really hoping for at least 2 more seasons just to wrap things up. But unfortunately, we only got 1 season of that one. Oh, no, I love the first season, but I get that it wasn't working for everybody. The first season was super good for me. My gosh, I forgot that Final Fantasy The Spirits Within is classified as an anime. Wasn't Spirited Away, wasn't that made in America? Like, they opened up a studio in America to make that, didn't they? So why is that on Mal and AnimeList, but shows like, God dang, the Mecha show is not on Mal, even though it's Polygon Pictures. Spirits was in rated 7280. Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, it was, dude, amazing marketing campaign, and it was pretty crazy looking back then, but that's about all I can give that whole thing. That exists. I literally bought this movie because it was like 50 cents in a bargain bin at a store one day, and I felt bad for it, so I bought it. And I think I ended up throwing it away anyways. I don't even know where it's at. I probably threw it away. I mean, it's worse than Cheat Skill. Yeah, I got the VHS. I'm sure. I wonder if it would look really cool if they did a Blu-ray remastering of it. Just for the hell of it. Dude, Taboo Tattoo I hate was such a burning passion. Where is it at? Where is it at? Did you spot it? There it is, right there. I hate it. I could probably change it to a 1 and not even feel bad. It could have been good. But then it got serious, and then it squandered that seriousness so freaking fast, it's not funny. Oh, look at here. Speaking of Shaft, Ruby happened. Light of Cleanliness was bad. Evangelion was not good. One of the most generic reincarnated right here. Tricksters, it had potentials early on, but yeah, it fell apart really quickly. Fantasy Star's bad. Rent-A-Girlfriend Season 2 is super bad. I hate it. Rewrite could have been good, but it was a bad adaptation in my opinion. What else was like some notable ones? Pandora and the Crimson Shell could have been really good too, but I feel like that was a bad adaptation too. Search of Lost Future was terrible. Yeah, there's my another jab at Science Sato, sorry. Fist of the Blue Sky Regenesis was so bad. That's another one of those, the new Berserk style. Started a new show called Kanon. Do you know it? It's by PA Works, I think. Yeah, Kanon is a series that I started watching, never got a chance to finish, but do need to get back to. And again, another one that I bought just to force myself to watch it, but never got a chance to. But yeah, I've heard it's really good. I watched Children of Whales. It's pretty good. Yes. Yes. Children of Whales is really good. Only problem with Children of Whales is that the ending is very source material bait, and I don't think they're ever going to do another season. But I was very tempted to jump in the source material. That's how much I liked it. Rent-A-Girlfriend is a marketing strategy? Yes, for him to sell his own internal wife. And to sell people his own inner thoughts to people so they can consume it. Pandora and a Crimson Shell is basically Ghost in the Shell if it was Yuri. Because, right, isn't it the same writer? It's supposed to be the same writer, isn't it? Manga's finished at 23 for Children of Whales. Couple of Cuckoos. Yeah, that one's I hated because I wasted 24 episodes to get no answers. Literally a carrot on the stick show that I absolutely hate. Yeah, Rise and Shield Hero second season was crap. Root Tokyo Ghoul was crap. I love Tokyo Magnitude 8.0. Didn't like the recap. That's the only reason it's down there. Secco Boys was super good at first, but the rest of the episodes sucked. I can't stop reading it because it's trash fire. Yeah, see, I got to the point where I just don't find it a trash fire anymore. Like, it's not a fun trash fire anymore for me. And that's the only reason I just kind of got sick of it. I remember Terrarium Resonance could be there. Yeah, I don't see Terrarium Resonance being in the top list because it's... too many people hated it. I really liked it, but too many people hated it. Season 2 of Shield Hero was great. Don't get all the hate for it. I just think that the pacing sucked. I really did love the Katana Hero story part. Was about the part that I liked. I also liked the part in the island because I like the fishing hero a lot. But other than that, I didn't like it. I just didn't like the bad guy. The villain just didn't work for me. It is Justified Slayer, though. Katana Gatari S. Dude, Katana Gatari is so good. I still, to this day, regret not buying the NIS America Katana Gatari series. I freaking love that show so much. Again, another Nisioisen that didn't feel like enough people talked about. Had a really good ending, too. It was a very highly debated topic for If you guys go back, I don't know what episode it was. Me and Chris on the podcast had a heated debate about Katana Gatari. Because he hated the ending, and I thought the ending was great. And so we had a very heated discussion about the ending, and if, well, it was good or not. I mean, he still loved Katana Gatari. He just didn't like the ending. How do I feel about Vermilion Gold? It's... For what it's doing, it's fine. It was a lot better animated than I thought it would be. And yeah, his childhood friend was the best ecchi. Yeah, cheerio! Cheerio! Okay, I just realized now more than ever that our taste in anime is dramatically opposed. Dramatically is a strong word. Yeah, Earthly, of course you had to look up where Kiss Exist is. 4,683. But it's 688 in popularity. Because yes, a lot of people watch it. Everybody hates it, but everybody watched it. Which means they're afraid of admitting that they like it. I wish Aniplex would release more of this series on Blu-rays. So many I want to buy that can't. Which kind of technically sucks because they now have control of pretty much all the licenses of Crunchyroll. Now, Crunchyroll could have a lot of licenses that just aren't physical licenses. You'd imagine they would have gotten the physical licenses so that Sentai or somebody else doesn't grab them and sell them by the time a show is streaming. But, I don't know. At the same time, Aniplex comes with price too. What was this show that came up here recently for pre-order for Aniplex? And yeah, I was like immediately, it's gonna be 150 bucks. And sure enough, it was like, oh, look at Sequoia. 150 bucks. Easy. Ibiki Euphonium 249 or 245. Oof. 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 Yeah. Like, both seasons, Andrew. Both seasons. Fine, you win. I won't say anything. It's not my live stream or anything, but Baka. No, it's fine. It gets sad to the point where people know exactly what I'm gonna say before I say it, and I'm like, whatever, fine, then I won't say anything. Oh my gosh, Lance and Masquez. Ugh, that show. Yeah, Umaro-chan is easy low for me. Easy low for me. Revolutionary Girl Utena 349. That's not actually as bad as I thought it would be, but it deserves to be higher in my opinion, even though I'm not a huge fan of it. Oh man, Slow Start Blu-ray. I didn't even think about that one getting a Blu-ray release. Yeah, they wouldn't be able to sell it for 130. I don't think enough people would buy it, unfortunately. Gangsta. Gangsta's gonna get blasted low just because everybody hated the ending of the anime. Oh, man. Getting into the okay shows. Getting the 4 is about an okay for me. 5 is pretty much middle of the ground for me. Didn't hate it, but didn't love it. Like I said, I use the full spectrum, so... Yes, Kiss X Sis is a 4. Sue me. It does have its problems. I will be critical of even Kiss X Sis. I love how I left it on... I love how Kiss X Sis and Koi Kimo are the same rating. Hold on, let me change Kiss X Sis to 5. I cannot have that. I need to at least have this a 5 so that it's not the same rating as Koi Kimo. There, it's fixed. I use smiley face, meh face, frowny face for rankings. I think that's a lot easier, but like I said, I need to have a full spectrum to sort of figure out where everything's at in my list. If I had less shows, I would totally do that. Yeah, there's been a lot of farming shows lately. It's sort of becoming a trend. I don't think it's going to be that big of a trend though. Love and Lies, yeah. I mean, it's okay show. I don't remember exactly what I hated about it. I think it was like the later parts of the season wasn't that great. It's been a long time since I've watched it. I'm surprised how much I enjoyed Anonymous Noise. It's a little down. Oh, I'm trying to remember what happened with that. I want to say that there was something about it that really irked me. I would have to go back and listen to our review on the podcast for it, because there was something about Anonymous Noise that I was like, this should work, but it wasn't. I want to say it was like one of the side characters bugged the hell out of me. Just don't care to give out numbers. Lord Marksman of Venatus is kind of underrated. I watched it recently. It was okay. Didn't really stand out to me too much. Like I said, for me, 4 isn't that terrible. Like, it's just, like, just below the middle range. Like, I even have things like Food Wars in here. There's the Dean Fate Stay Night 4, Fate Collide 4, Domestic Girlfriend 4, Banana Fish. But I mean, it's for me, it's personally important that as I scroll through this, and I'm even in the 4 area, and as I go up into the 5 and 6, I see that there's a progression of like for these series that just gradually gets better and better. Because again, having 2,000 titles, I sort of need a spread that I can really feel what's better than something else in forms of quality. Yeah, Josh and Chan sort of did slowly break away from the main character to be more interesting with the side characters. Like, Acute, who they just recently introduced, is super good concept they're adding to it. Anyways. I think I'm going to call it a night. Yeah, but Monkey Bronchi Season 1, I really, really liked it. It's actually probably one of my favorite CGI animes. I love the style of it. I didn't like Season 2 so much, but it's really good. I really enjoyed first season. I think it was like a better series before it got into too much of the mecha battles. Like, I love the characters themselves having their own powers. Granted, it does kind of go with the whole Power Rangers group up kind of thing, so. Yeah, it took me a while before I finally kind of accepted not having to give everything a high number and being okay with saying this isn't that great. Again, pushing away from everything has to be amazing or terrible. And yeah, something can be a 4. Something can be a 3. That's the area. The 4 to 3. Because it's easy to give a 2, 1, or a high number, but that 4 and 3, I agree with you, is like that area that took me a long time to be okay with. Like, this show is okay. I can give it a 4. So, yeah, definitely. Anyways, as I was saying, I'm going to call it a night. I appreciate you guys dropping by. For those that are going to be here for Mushoku Mondays, it's going to be Volume 11, Chapter 11 through 13. And I'll probably do 14, the last chapter, for the following week. So, Volume 12 will be, what, the 5th? I think it's no, not the 5th. Yeah, I think it would be the 5th, right? Am I wrong? No, it would be the 19th. I don't know why I'm thinking. I'm on another world right now. Call the Night's 578. Shut up, Earthly. Shut up. I just released my actual review for that show, and I'm like, holy crap, I cannot believe I didn't release that video. Shut up. You're distracting me, Earthly. Stop. But no. Yeah. Looking forward to people for that. Really awesome. Again, thanks to everybody that dropped by for this live stream. Again, I'll probably be switching over to Thursday next week. That way I can do Oshinoko, focus on Oshinoko, and do Thursday live stream instead. Thanks to Petro for the super chat. Earthly, thanks so much for the super chat. Really appreciate you guys' support. Again, Seismic for re-upping. Really means a lot to me. Who else popped in? There was somebody else. Sergio. Yeah. Donna, thank you so much for the support. Thank you guys so much. It means a lot to me. Love you guys' support. And until the next time, y'all have a good one.